Right, Hassan, I'll just do
Hello,
the
can you hear me?
intro. Yep. I'll just like introduce the
Nice.
thing.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
No, so I
Say
wasn't
something.
speaking, but hello.
Yeah, I can hear
Yo.
you. I can hear you.
All right, good. Make sure to up the audio of the stream in case it isn't up. I got a big water bottle next to me.
Let's see. I'm going to be. Yeah, your stream was actually really choppy for me.
Yeah, I think he was just
On
messing with stuff, so it should be good for the actual race or for the actual broadcast. I mean,
Otherwise, I'll
I'll just.
just watch on YouTube, I guess, on the YouTube stream.
It's gonna be delayed by like 4 hours, bro. Right, just remember to keep it appropriate, minimize swearing. I mean, I should be using that, but yeah, just use just use stuff like fiddlesticks or something. By the way, it's gonna be auto cam. Are
Yeah,
we
sure.
live? Yes, we're live. All right, everybody. Welcome to the welcome to the second running of the Real Rookie Endurance series. This is the 2 hours of the Nürburgring Nordschleife Endurance Cup layout. So, with the radicals and the TCRs. So basically, our grid is composed um, of the radicals. We also have the Audi TCR, the Cupra, and the Hyundai. So the Elantra. And we have two guest appearances here today. We got a broadcast van driving the race, not this broadcast, but a different one, and we have a LMP1 car as well. So it's going to be extremely chaotic. Just keep an eye out for that when that happens, right? So there's going to be a lot of chaos. So right now we have just started our 30 minutes of practice, and then it's going to be followed by 30 minutes of qualifying, which then will be followed by the 2-hour race. I'm joined here with Asan. You
Hello,
can say
everyone.
hello. Yep. So he's going to be assisting me with commentating, and I would also be joined by what's his name? I also be joined by the Lava Lord if he ends up waking up anytime soon. So just another quick thing. Qualifying and practice will be like separated, kind of. So it's like, every class will only be able to see their own class. So the TCRs will see the TCRs, the radicals will see the radicals, and then and then the broadcast van and what do you call it?
The LMP1.
Yeah, exactly. The LP1. They'll be just alone, pretty much on track.
Qualifying is going to be really interesting, especially with the TCRs, because I think there are probably going to be like at least 25 or maybe 30 cars on track. And yeah, each car is going to get probably 2 or 3 laps to put a time lap in. And yeah, it's going to be really crucial to get that lap in. Maybe no need to take too much risk, because if you don't put a lap in, you're going to qualify way back at the back of the grid.
Yep.
And yeah, but
Yeah,
still,
and
it's a pretty long race. So even if you're at the back, you still can make your way up, especially because there is going to be a ton of carnage, and it's just going to be a game of survival at this point.
Yeah, just make sure to watch out for lap one, turn one. That that always gets everybody, and especially in the GP layout with the tight hairpin in turn one. Just just keep an eye out for for some people who think they can brake later than they're supposed to, and end up just going straight into 30 people.
I
We
feel
hope that
like we
doesn't
might
happen.
see that.
Yeah, maybe.
I
We
feel
hope that
like we
doesn't
might see
happen.
that.
Yeah, we really, yeah. It could happen. We hope it doesn't. I mean, in terms for actual racing, we hope it doesn't happen. But for the broadcast, that's like best case scenario. So it's like we're like in between.
For sure.
Right. I'm just gonna quickly give you guys a couple of quick facts. For of the radicals and the TCRs. So the radicals we have here. One sec. Hold on. What? So just give me a sec. I completely forgot. Yep. So the radicals are, just so you know, these are really lightweight, high downforce cars. Uh, high downforce cars. They are the faster class in the Nürburgring because, well, they can take like not half the corners, but they can take a lot of corners with flat outs or with extra speed. But they are limited in straight line speed. So if you do end up seeing TCRs, which I'll come to in a sec, if you end up seeing TCRs, uh, like going past them down the straight, then don't be surprised. Uh, the radicals, the radicals have around 220 to 230 horsepower, uh, or like between like 200 300 horsepower. So they aren't as powerful as you think they are. However, they are a really fun car to drive. It's a pretty good driver's car, but it does not have any ABS nor TCS. So it's really going to test your skills out on the track today, and especially in the track with like the Nordschleife. Then we have the TCRs. The TCRs are touring cars. Um, yes, basically, they're front wheel drive. Just one more thing: the radicals are rear wheel drive, and the touring cars are front wheel drive. So those cars are going to struggle with rotation, at least from my experience. So just don't be shocked if they just go sailing straight on or have big lockups because they also don't have ABS. But yeah.
Mhm.
The thing is with these touring cars, they are about 20 to 30 kph faster than the radicals. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hassan. What's the top
Yeah,
speed
yeah,
of
that's
the?
correct.
Yeah, what was your top speed when you were driving the TCRs?
I think it was around 256, something like 250, 260 around that point.
Yeah, so the radicals have a top speed of like 230-ish, 240. So actually, it's actually much less, but the TCRs are around 10 kph faster down the straight. So
Yeah, the
the
TCR is actually 265, so actually like around 30 kph faster.
yeah, 20, 30. So yeah, like I said, so it's just don't be surprised if you see TCRs overtaking the radicals. And also don't be surprised if you see radicals and TCRs battling for track position because the radicals, the faster drivers in the radicals, they are doing laps around like the top end. They're doing around like 8 minute. Was it 8 minute or 9 minute? I forget. It's 8 minute, I think. Hold on, I gotta double check. Really
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I think
8
it was
minutes.
yeah, eight. Yeah, so it was 8 minute, like 8 minute 15s, 8 minute 10s, basically within sub 8:20. Those will be like the top times. However, but with the TCRs, the top times are around the 8:30, 8:40 range in terms of qualifying, and race pace around 8:40 as well. So
Mhm.
but the thing is that since this track is long and such a difficult track to drive, there's going to be a big, there's going to be a big like skill range between both classes, and it could be, and pace-wise as well, and there's there's definitely a chance that the the rear end of the radical pack will be fighting alongside uh, the front runners of the TCRs. So just
Yeah, and Parmesan is probably going to be fighting the mid pack of the radicals. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see where he can stack up amidst the radical lineup, because I don't think anyone from the TCRs is going to be giving him much challenge. He's just so much
yep.
faster around here.
Did I mention that this race is going to be very, very chaotic? Especially
For
because of the
sure.
LMP, yeah, with the LMP1 on track. So if you just see a random prototype car, it just zooming by, lapping everybody in like 5 seconds, or crashing and dying, you never know.
The LMP1 next to the broadcast van is going to be some sight. Just
Yeah, just
absolutely zooming past like a rocket.
yeah, just keep an eye out for that, especially. So it should, um, for the most part, the race, for lap traffic, the race should be fine. I think the radicals will, at least the top end of the radicals should be able to lap the TCRs at least once. Maybe I could think in the race if they're doing consistent 220s, 215s, and that kind of stuff for in race pace. So, and then the LMP1 will do God knows what, 20 laps. Probably not, but yeah, you get the deal. It's very fast. And then obviously the broadcast van, which I think it does 14-minute laps. So it's a slow boy. You gotta be It's gotta be mindful of how the TCRs and the radicals will uh, lap them, and of course how the LMP1 will lap them too. So
Yeah, and also the TCR is actually a pretty tricky car to launch off the line unless you already have some practice with it. So yeah, I suspect we are going to see a lot of people on the start just kind of stalling their cars, and maybe it's going to be a pretty action-packed start of the line, I think.
yep, and this time we're not gonna be doing any race restarts, unlike last time with when we had race one in the 1 point. I think it's the 1 hour 40 minutes of Road America. So it's basically
Yeah, that was me. That was my
yeah.
disconnecting button.
Yeah, no. So last time, in case you didn't know, there was we had done two restarts because the amount of carnage in lap one, and this time we're gonna be doing no restarts because I think we have learned from our lesson, or we hope we have learned from our lesson. So yeah. And moving back to the topic of the launching the TCRs, I mean their TCRs do have launch control, but it's such a tricky application, such a tricky like thing to do to
Mhm.
start, like to actually use
Yeah.
launch control. It's gonna be, uh, I don't unless you want to go through that entire process, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, I
What you
think the most simplest method is just to um, press the clutch up to the 45% and just slowly release it. It does take a bit of practice to get that right, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
that should be the way people should be looking to launch the cars.
yeah. I'm quite it's more of a self glaze. I am pretty decent in the race starts, or when I launch the cars in the race start, in standing start. So um what I do is I
Yeah,
have a
that's how you.
button. Yeah, so what I do is I have a
Yeah, yeah.
button and a clutch pedal as well. So what I do is I put the clutch pedal to like that 45, 50-ish% bite point, like you mentioned, and then I press the clutch button and put in first gear, of course, and rev it out. And once the lights go out, I release the clutch button, and then I let the car pick up a bit. pick up the revs, and then not slowly, but like it's not, you don't want to do it too slow, but you obviously don't want to release it too quickly, otherwise you're just gonna stall.
Mhm.
But like in a decent-ish pace, you want to like release the clutch, and then you should be off the line pretty quickly. TCR TCRs have TCS, right? Or traction control, or is it?
Um, Not sure. I mean, they are front-wheel drive cars, so they don't really need, I guess, I would think traction control, but I don't remember seeing a setting for it, so not sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the TCRs don't have any assist like the radicals. So they're both drivers' cars. They're both in a way tricky to drive. Just also there is an interesting strategy option on the table as well uh, for the TCRs, because everybody in the race, by everybody I mean the radicals and the TCRs are gonna have to do a one stop because their fuel tanks are pretty small. But with the TCRs, there is an interesting strategy because the fact that these tires last really, really long, they're like the MX5
Mhm.
tires of TCRs.
Yeah.
So it's like so there's a possible strategy where the TCRs could just use the same set of tires for 2 hours and just double stint them. You're gonna gain like you're gonna gain you're gonna gain a lot of time during the pit stops, but it may it may get to be like be of no use because of the fact that you're gonna lose so much time when driving. So it's like
Although,
it's a
yeah,
mix.
give, yeah, given that it's Nords and like overtaking is tricky here, maybe it might work to keep. It might be worth it to keep some track position. Um, so yeah, I think the strategy option is there, and it will be interesting to see who takes what option. We will see. I think we might see variance in strategy this race.
Yeah, especially with the TCR field, and then with the radicals,
Mhm.
those tires can barely last a stint. So yeah, they're gonna have to swap tires. We don't. I'm pretty sure the broadcast cars can make it to the end with one tank of fuel. Those those big boys hardly use any fuel. Fu- So it's just yeah, it's very very shocking. So don't be surprised if the TCR stays up for the entire race. Currently, we can't really see cars driving out on track, but trust me, there are a lot of cars driving on
Um,
track because
yeah,
it's
is
the
the
fact that it's
autocam working on stream?
yeah,
I don't
autocam
think the
is
autocam
working,
is working.
but like I don't think I think autocam's working. However, it may just be a case of that it just doesn't show in the broadcast. But yeah, there are a lot of drivers on track. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there are.
there's at
Yeah,
least
most
20,
of the
30.
drivers are out on track. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just not. It's just showing them. Yeah, there are a lot of drivers on track. So, but it's just not
Yep.
showing them right now.
Yeah, it's not showing in the broadcast. That might be the case during quality as well. We gotta see. We hope not. We hope not, because we can see some of the hot laps, but eh, you get what you get. Right. Just before we finish the practice session, I just want to talk about a little bit about the track, the Nürburgring itself. Now, I think I mentioned this before, but this track is incredibly tricky to drive, and there's a lot of difference in skill level, especially in this race because it's a rookie race, and there are some so-called quote-unquote rookies. Don't doubt, I highly doubt it. But yeah, this is a very tricky track to drive, and it's a really fun one too. So if I were you, I would learn this track as soon as possible. But yeah, so this track is about um 23, 24-ish kilometers long, so like 14-ish miles long for you American boys. And there are about 150 plus corners on track, so on the track. So this is gonna so it's very difficult to memorize every corner, but it's very fun when you do. And, I think we got the cam working now, so we can actually see the cars driving.
Oh, nice.
So on the HUD you see the blue the blue line next to the driver is like next to the like the position number and the driver name is the radical class, and then the red line is the TCRs, and then the gray one is the special entries, the guest entries.
The carousel is actually very fun in these TCR cars. Like you can um, take it almost most of it. Just you can just stamp the throttle and the car will just take it. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, and the TCRs, the big carousel, the main one, you, you struggle with it. Best way I can say it. It's like you're not quite sure what gear you want to take it. If you go too fast, or if you like, I think you can take it a little bit fast, but uh, but it's very hard to find that exact the perfect balance because it looks like you can take it faster. If you go faster, you're just gonna lose the rear, and if you go slower, you're just gonna lose like a lot of time. So, but just saying, even though this is a very tight track, don't be like just stay on your toes because racing here is especially it's going to be very, very entertaining, especially with the TCRs, as um as these boys can go side by side pretty much through every corner, and it's going to be a
Yeah.
very, very fun watch.
Yeah, and they can take a good beating, and they generally don't spin when you make contact, so that allows you to be kind of aggressive with them without risking taking the other driver out or taking yourself out. So yeah, overall a very good car for side-by-side racing, just like they are in real life as well.
But me personally, I absolutely despise front-wheel drive cars, so I have a inherent bias against them. But
Yeah, I
I
mean
can't lie. Yeah, go on.
when you first try them, I mean they are really annoying. Yeah, but I know quite a lot of people that they just don't like it. Like Max Verstappen himself, he says he doesn't even consider them real cars. So yeah,
Race
there's
cars.
that. But yeah, um, but yeah, I mean they can be pretty fun if you get the hang of them and uh, do a bit of practice with them. They are pretty fun.
Yeah, and very fun to watch too. I can't complain against that. It's probably one of the most entertaining classes we have. And the radicals, of course, high downforce machines, there's gonna be a lot of dirty air involved. And don't I mean you probably oh, we have a crash here. Um the foxhole has claimed a victim. I'm pretty sure that's the foxhole. Or am I just No, that's not. Not a
This is the
foxhole, a
fox.
fluke plus. That was never mind. I forgot my coordinates already. I meant fluke plots. Right, that's not right. Anyways, so yeah, just expect to see a lot of that. yeah, just expect to see a lot of carnage, a lot of spins, a lot of crashes. So I'm with Scrub here, just doing a practice lap, going down to Schwedenkreuz, doing a little bit of weaving action. Oh, and he's dead. Yikes. I hope that won't happen in the race. That was quite, yeah. Another thing about these TCRs, they can really eat a lot of the curbs on in this track. Normally, um, you want to stay away from some of the curbs as they will take you in and spit you into the barrier or make you spin and die. But the die is an over exaggeration, but you get the deal. It's gonna crash really, really badly. But these TCRs, they can really just eat that curb, eat those curbs like it's breakfast.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's a single curve on this track that really bothers the TCR much. I mean, you can just attack all of them.
Yeah, and the radicals, they are very curb sensitive. So you touch a curb, you're gonna most probably spin out. And through the Hatzenbach section as well. In the beginning of the Nordschleife, you have the two corners where you can really cut the curbs. You could do that very easily with the TCRs, but with the radicals, it's best to stay off of those. Uh, I mean, you could still attack them. It is obviously much faster for lap time. However, it's not recommended as it does
Yeah,
make
it's
the
going
car
to
pretty
be.
loose.
Yeah, for sure.
There are a lot of beautiful liveries as well on out here today. Yeah, like this Hyundai. I really and the I completely forgot what the car this is. It's another like this Hyundai as well. I personally really like how how the green is there with the little texture to it as well.
Yeah,
Can't quite
it's
tell
pretty
if
stunning.
that's damage or not. But but yeah, it's definitely a good one. All of these are good pretty much. So yeah,
We have a lap on board. A37. I think that's the radical, one of the radicals, right?
I mean if you just look at the leaderboard right now, you already see there's a TCR that's gone a tenth faster than a radical. So you already
Oh,
know
that's
it's
actually
gonna be pretty
pretty good.
chaotic.
I mean, that's some pretty impressive pace, to be honest. At 37, I think yeah, that's definitely podium contention pace here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the fastest lap with the TCR is like a 35 or 34, like a high 34, low
No,
35.
I think Parmesan actually did a 29 with it in practice.
That's
I mean,
absolutely
he's in a
mental.
league of his own. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
He is driving today with um with the TCR, so just don't be surprised if you see Parmesan just zoom ahead, like instantly on that one. You know, you think I don't know about the TCR, but for the radicals, do you think that you'd reach the top speed down the Dottinger Strait or Dottinger Höhe, whatever German? whatever German goofy names. But yeah, you think you'd get your top speed down that straight, but you really get your top. But I think the fastest bit, like in terms of top speed for the radicals at least, is between Flugplatz and Schwerenkreuz. It's a big flat out downhill section, and
Hmm.
Schwerenkreuz itself is flat out as well with the radicals. Definitely not with the TCRs, but yeah. So over there, you're going to be hitting, at least the radicals are going to be hitting like 230, 240 kph, depending on the setup. And down the back straight, they're going to be doing like 230. At one point, they could hit 220 as well when they go uphill. Because these are underpowered. You could consider them underpowered machines, but they are fast as well. So
Hmm.
it's like an MX-5, but with an immense amount of downforce.
I mean, they do accelerate out of the corners pretty fast, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just the too much drag, so they don't achieve that top speed. But yeah, through the corners, they are pretty damn fast, and out of the corners as well. So I think if you want to be overtaking TCRs on this track as a radical, uh, you will try to do it out of the corners in the acceleration zones.
Or
Um,
through the corners as well, because they have way more downforce
mhm.
compared to TCR.
Yeah,
So just
although
don't be
depends on
expecting
the
any
corner.
overtakes. Yeah, it depends on the corner, of course. Just
Yeah.
don't be expecting any overtakes down any straights or in specific corners like Mut Curve, Bravery Corner, as some people call it. And oh, there's this one bit as well, if I can remember what it's called. Uh,
To be honest, I just know the names of one or two corners on the entire track.
okay, I'm trying to remember what part. Um, oh yeah, the Stefan Beloff S. Don't be surprised if you don't see any overtakes through or any racing or side-by-side action through Stefan Beloff S. That being a couple of corners right after Garten, that little jump before the right-hander. So if you if you try to make an overtake there or you try and like pass a slower class there, it's very ballsy move. It's a very good crash, I must admit, with hacks.
Mm.
It's perfect ricochet off the barrier and facing the right way again. So now I mean, we hit overtime like a couple of minutes ago and just realized we're now in overtime, so we're just waiting for like the cooldown to, well, stop, and then we're gonna begin qualifying soon. Got myself a big bottle of water next to me, so I can keep sipping on it while I'm commentating. I think there are also a couple of people who can't join the actual the server itself. I think Potato gave an announcement saying to make sure you can actually join the session and not ping him during qualifying. And we ended up having someone who pinged Potato. Well, it's not during qualifying, but right before qualifying. So that's
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably didn't join it in practice, and like they are discovering on the race day what's working, what's not working, and yeah, never a good idea to leave these things to the last minute.
yep. I mean, it obviously depends on what type of scenario it is. If it's like a server-wide thing, or like if a lot of people can't do it, then it's not really all of their fault. It's like a select few. But yeah, it's better to get it over with quickly so you don't have to like ping the moderators about like right before practice or right before quali or during quali. It just
Yeah.
puts less load on them, and on top of their fact that they're driving and they're already existing load, so it's just it's better to just do it quickly before and then and not worry about it before during the race or during the session. That's a big shot. Just so you guys know, we also have this broadcast on AutoCam. So if there is any side-by-side racing action, and the camera ends up changing or changing the person is following mid overtake, don't be surprised. It's not our fault. It's all automated. It's not our fault. It's blame the code. I think it's taken an awful lot of time to end the practice session. It's been like 7 minutes since it ended. That's a long time.
Yeah, overtime is going to be really long here, especially with
Yeah,
people crashing around and not completing the laps.
I think if everybody just goes back to pits, then it should work. Little
It's
rear lock
funny
up
if
there
you
with
look.
Parmesan. You're saying?
Yeah, it's funny if you look on the live timing. There are just, I think, 2 3 people who don't have red in their lap times, meaning only 2 or 3 people are setting a valid lap time at this point.
Yeah.
That's going
Goes
to
to
be a
show how
really big
difficult this
challenge.
track is.
Yeah.
Tell there are only two people on track. It's Armand and Parmesan. Parmesan is a long ways away. It's just yeah, past Stefan Belafest, that bit I mentioned earlier. It's just over there. It's still a long ways away. We're just gonna reach. I think he's just gonna reach the Clan and Carousel, the little one, and then he has to hold straight. So just do us a favor and go to pits. Yeah. Click Armand goes to the pits. Parmesan. Yeah. One thing about the pit lane here, obviously there's an 80 kilometers an hour speed limit, but the thing is that it auto activates the pit limiter, and there's no, which means you can just send it full speed into the into the pit lane, into the pit line, and it's just gonna activate it and slow you down. You're gonna see people.
Hopefully you don't spin while doing that.
Yeah,
Because in the
I
last
was.
race, I think, was it Thraxor? Um, I think he spun while entering the pit full send. But I think TCRs will be fine. Not sure about radicals, how well they can manage that. But yeah.
Yeah. I think the radicals are just gonna be a bit shaky. Parmesan bees into the pit lane. Yeah, look how. Oh no, I guess he just. Yeah, Yeah, it's basically just full send and don't spin. Can we please? No one's driving. Can we please end practice? We're 9 minutes into overtime now. And the TCR doesn't actually. I'm just looking at what on Parmesan's onboard or speed. He was still 160, like pretty much 160 kph, like halfway through the pit lane. I don't think the radicals are gonna hit that pretty quick, but not hit the 80 kph pretty quick. But I don't think the TCRs will, depending on how hard they send it. And we finally began quali. It's been like 30 minutes, or it's been like 10 minutes since we were supposed to begin quali. Hmm. Now we have TCRs rolling out of the pits now. Is beginning their outlap. One thing to keep in mind when you're qualifying is that it gets really, especially in the Nürburgring, it gets very frustrating if you invalid your lap in the GP section. So obviously you don't want to
Definitely.
do that um, for obvious reasons, but you gotta make it so you gotta make sure that you like um, that you take the GP loop, uh, the GP loop pretty quickly, but pretty carefully as well. So you're within track limits. I mean, obviously for lap times you want to go full send, but you want to like hold back, dial it down a notch or two, so you can actually drive the entirety of the Nordschleife. And in this track with the current track limits, if you go off track fully, even if you lose like 20 minutes in lap time, let's say, or if you make a mistake, if you go off track, it's an instant cut. So another thing to keep in mind is obviously don't go full push, full 100%, even in quali, if you want to like guarantee at least one lap. So yeah, you can't really see this. Can't really see this, but in the live timings page, with all the classes combined, there's there's almost like a 20 car train from Flugplatz all the way to Hatzenbach. So at the beginning of the Nordschleife, so it's just a long train. We haven't actually seen any of the what do you call it? We haven't actually seen any of the LMP1s driving. I'm not sure if there is an LMP1 driving right now. Let me make sure.
Um, I don't see it on the live timing at least.
Yeah, no, there is an LMP1 here. Maybe the LMP1 will join. Maybe LMP1 start from the back. Maybe. Or maybe they forgot there's a race, which will be unfortunate.
Or maybe they'll just join later because, I mean, they don't really need to push. They just need to do one lap and they will qualify at the front easily.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty much a guaranteed P1 unless you go into pit lane or you're just driving max gear and like 50% throttle. But yeah, for qualifying, if I mentioned this a couple of times earlier, but if you see TCRs and radicals each mixed in each other's class, like there's like a couple of TCRs at the back of the radical and vice versa, at the couple of radicals at the front of the TCR pack, then yeah, don't be shocked. There there's some slow guy, quote unquote slow guys in the radical class that are on pace with the faster or like that have faster TCRs and a couple of fast TCR guys who are on pace with the rear pack of the radicals. So we have a couple of late joinees doing their outlap now, or beginning their outlap.
Some people are just, I think, waiting in the pits. They're just waiting for some sort of a gap to open up in front so they can get some clean laps in.
Yeah,
Because the
or
guys in the
this.
train, yeah, the guys in the train are going to really struggle with people ahead who might be off pace, and yeah, they're going to be held up a bit in the laps.
I mean, there are pros and cons, obviously. If you have like 20 people ahead of you, you're all of you are gonna be like pushing each other with through the slipstream, and
Yeah,
yeah, and that's gonna obviously gonna make you faster down the straight. But then again, as you said, if you like come up right behind one of the guys ahead through the middle of a corner, let's say I don't know through Flugplatz, and you have to like slow down even more, or through Schwittenkreuz or Arnberg, you're gonna have to it's just gonna lose a lot of time. So yeah,
yeah, ideally you want to be starting behind some fast guys so you can take the slipstream and they won't slow you down either. But yeah, that's pretty hard to do in theory because there are 30 other people trying to do the same.
yeah. One good thing about this, like about the way this is, like it's set, is that the different classes are like separated differently. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. So that's gonna be yeah. So it's not gonna there's no like impeding going on between the two classes, and it's just it's one class versus the other. There are a couple of people crashing in the out lap already. It's not really optimal if you wanna set a fast lap. You preferably would want a car without any or with a very minimal damage. I mean, it doesn't a slight amount of damage doesn't really do much or has very marginal effects. So it's like, I mean, you can afford, like you could say, afford to like crash a bit, but yeah. So you have a couple of people now, going through the start finish line. We're right now just on board with Jamarius still doing his outlap. Yep. And Big Dean Energy being one of the few people starting the laps now. S- For me, in my opinion, the trickiest bit of this GP loop is probably the Mercedes arena. It's basically that it's just that general area of the first few corners, so turns 1 to 4. That's generally called the Mercedes arena. Turn one being the hairpin, turn two then being the left-hander, followed by turn three being a tighter left-hander, and then turn four being the right-hander. And then you have the hairpin at the bottom end of the track. So
Yeah, it's a pretty technical section. Yeah, and one corner leads to the next. So if you mess up one, you are going to mess up the next one too. And yeah, so you have to really get the flow down to nail that section.
Yep, 100%. It's just it's tricky to um get that transition between turn 3 to turn 4 right. The perfect because um turn 4 is flat out. I think in the radicals it is, but I think in the TCRs as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is flat out, right? In the TCRs or
Turn four. Um, no, I don't think it's flat out. Maybe
flat
I
out
think
or
if you,
they're not flat out.
I think you have to do a small lift. Maybe
Yes.
it's possible to take it flat out, but yeah, I think most people are going to be lifting through there.
Yep. The track limits on exit of turn 4 is there's a little lenient. You can go a little bit wide, but obviously you don't want to go too wide. If you just see cars going to the pits, just so you know, it's because the autocam is swapping between classes every minute. So just it's if you just see someone randomly teleport to pits, it's most probably because of that, unless they crash out or accidentally press the back to pits button, which they shouldn't have binded, in my opinion. The radicals are There's a couple of different tire options for the with the radicals here. It's pretty much split between mediums and softs. So the soft tires are pretty much like a third of the way dead through the first lap, and the medium tires aren't too dead, but the soft tires obviously provide more grip. Even if they're a little bit worn, they still provide more grip in the mediums for for that at that particular range at that point. But then if you want to do but if you want to do more than just one lap, then mediums would probably be the way to go. That's what a lot of
Yeah.
people seem to be doing right now. Daraxa, what do you mean I got stood up? I just looked at chat and the Daraxa message saying I've been stood up or one of us have been stood up. And also, yeah, I am gonna be occasionally checking chat. I don't know about Assam, but I will be checking chat once in a while here and there. So just yeah, if you want to say something in chat, you can say it. No, I'll just get back to you in a sec, I guess.
I think most people have started their push laps.
Yeah, a lot of people are on their push ups
Um,
right now.
yeah.
I think we're just looking at people racing right now, pretty much. I think they were side by side or like neck and neck like a couple seconds ago, and then went off wide.
Yeah, most people are in the same part of the track. There is the other side of the track that's mostly empty. So yeah, I think we are going to see a lot of people getting caught up with each other.
Yeah, we still don't have any sight on the LMP1 car. Following as we're following Yassarian right now, who I think is on a push lap. Yeah, he is on a push lap right now.
Right now, Bobby is going fastest with two purple sectors.
Yeah, with a
Um,
3 minute 8.3 and a 2 minute 20.54. Yassarian is only a couple of tenths off him. And yeah,
Portland is also pretty close
yeah,
to him. I think only a couple of seconds off.
yeah, 1 to 4 seconds. But uh, just don't be. I mentioned this again, but with longer tracks, um, the lap time difference is going to be greater compared to shorter tracks. So like in tracks like let's say uh, hold on, I need to think of a track that's very short.
Um, Lime Rock Park, I guess, 50 second
Oh
lap.
yeah, yeah, like Lime Rock Park. That was a tough one. That's like a and with the GT3 that's like that's just shy of a minute or like 40 seconds to a minute long lap,
Yeah,
and it's very close together. The grid's pretty close together, and unless you like spin like 20 times, but that's something else. But yeah, but otherwise, but with longer tracks like Nordschleife or Le Mans, it's gonna be a much not too big, but like expect to see a couple of seconds. And I think Yassarian here has had a spin because he seemed to be going very slow before entering or going towards a Kleine carousel or spin or crash of sorts. The spot Lando, being the first driver, sets the fastest lap with an 8:20.8 with the fastest purple sector, but we're gonna see Bobby cross the line too soon. Sebastian Bolo set at 8:26, being the second fastest, and Deadly Daniel doing an 8:28. And we see Parmesan here doing an 8:30.7. It goes to show how, like, goes to show how close it can be, the grid, between the, what do you call it, the TCRs and the radicals.
yeah. I mean, he's more closer to the radicals than he's to the other TCRs at this point. Orlando with the fastest third sector. Bobby hasn't completed his lap, right?
Yeah, I think he's gone to pits, unfortunately.
Uh,
He was on a flying lap, the fastest, I think. It was pretty much fastest, yeah. And that was unfortunate. He's gonna have to. I don't know why he went to pits. Maybe he ran out of fuel or something. Maybe underfueled the car. He's gonna have to do another out lap and then another push lap. It's a big hassle. You really want to make sure you have enough fuel, especially before committing to the out lap. Because if you at the end of the out lap you realize, oh wait, I didn't put enough fuel, then
yeah,
you go to the pits. It's just you just lost like 9 minutes, 9 minutes of your life just to do it again.
yeah,
So we're on board with Botlando once more. He's actually one of the drivers using the mediums, so he's going for the multiple lap strategy, which definitely could work. Yes, not denying that. Um, and especially the more laps you drive, the faster you're going to be because of the fact that you have way less fuel compared to the lap before. You're using like what 16 liters a lap with the radicals, and the medium tires can last a little bit long. So like for like pretty lengthy amount of time, you could say. So it's not. So it's like so the tires will be pretty alive for at least two push laps, in my opinion.
Yeah, so for TCRs, I think if you ignore Parmesan, the top three are actually pretty damn close. Like just 8 tenths over the lap. I mean, that's pretty much nothing over this lap. That's almost identical here.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
close to be within
yeah,
8/10.
Threxo, Ronan, yeah, Threxo, Ronan, Jesse,
And yep.
with 40s and 41s,
And then you have
and
Parmesan being 10 seconds faster than Durexo with a 30.7
yeah,
compared to his 40.2. Just absolutely mental, may I add. And you have a Radical who said 41.1. Just so you will see Radical one or two or at least a handful of Radicals in the middle or at the front of the of the TCR pack because it is going to be a standing start as mentioned earlier. So it's the whatever qualifying overall qualifying position you have, that's where you're going to start. Obviously, it's preferable if you start alongside your pack, but if not, then yeah.
8 minutes to go, and I think most of the grid still hasn't put up a lap. I think only 18 drivers so far have put up a lap, and there's 22 other drivers who are yet to put it.
Yep, I think
Yeah, I
those
think
lot
probably
are
they've got, yeah,
yeah, I think those lot are just doing we're just doing their out laps and now they're going to be doing their main push laps, or maybe they just been their push laps, so they're going to be doing another one. For some reason, it always gets me every time that when it goes to pits, and then I realize, right, it's going to do that every like minute. I mentioned this, but it still like gets you like, oh, why did he go to pits? He was on a good lap. He's on a flying
yeah.
lap. And at this time, uh, with 7 minutes 30 seconds to go, starting like an out lap, it's too late now. So you're gonna have to, if you're not on track yet, I guess I think it's a bit late. But if you are, then you just a quick reminder, just make sure to check the time, because depending on where you are on track, you have one lap left to,
Um, yeah,
yeah.
I think Cesare was it that put up a 37 in practice. I think he's in pits and he still hasn't put up a lap, so I guess he'll start from the back, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's always a thing about starting from the back. It's
Yeah.
it's always like it's respectable, you know? Like allows the first challenge. I mean, obviously it is a 2 hour race. There's don't want to jinx it, but there's almost a guaranteed chance of carnage. There's
Yeah.
almost a guaranteed chance of carnage, especially in Nordschleife in a rookie server. So it's chaos. So it's just so there is a chance, but thing is, if you start from the front, you do have a chance to stay in the front as well because of less the amount of traffic there is. Because if you start from the
Yeah.
back, or if you start in the mid pack, there's so many cars ahead of you to pass if you want to catch up to the front, which would lead to the front runners just pulling away in the beginning and then keeping that gap throughout the race. Oh, excuse me if you heard that.
So Usarian just did a 306 purple first sector. His second sector is yellow, but I think he is overall for a pretty good lap. Probably going to be competing for P1 here in the quali.
Yep. Oh, I just lost him here. I was looking at the live timing. Hold on, where is he? What the hell is he? I generally can't find him. I suck at finding stuff. Oh, I guess we just have his onboard now. So we're always on board with like two people or three people in the radical class. It's always Yasarian, Bot Lando, or Big Dean. I think it's Big Dean Energy. That's what his name is. Generally, where the I can't find the name. Oh, found him. Yeah, Yasarian's just entered the Dottinger, the back straight, the main straight, I guess. So it's pretty much running up his lap here. It's gonna be very well. I guess we can't see that, but it should be. It's. I don't think it's. Yeah, it should be a fast one. Though the middle sector might maybe. I haven't checked how much slower or faster it is compared to the leader.
Yeah, I think it was on pace. I think just uh,
Yeah,
second slower, I guess, roundabout there.
yeah,
But his first sector was pretty quick.
yeah. I think we've just yeah. Oh, Florian deciding to not do a lap. He decided to slow down as he crossed the line. I think he didn't realize,
Or maybe he
or
ran out of fuel.
maybe I don't. Was this gravel being kicked up ahead? Someone go off wide? I guess we'll never know.
So Potato hasn't done a lap, and his current lap is at least on the live timing shows, right? So that means it's invalid for the first sector.
Yeah, so Yasarian's lap was invalid in the third sector as well. So that he did an 8:34 that lap, but it was invalid. So he is out on his final attempt right now. And we're following Big Dean Energy, who is on a clean lap according to the first two sectors. We'll see if it is clean for the sector, but he's looking good so far. It's a couple of seconds off pace in the first sector, and in the second sector as well, but it's better to set a lap than to be fastest.
Yeah. Yeah, at least in TCRs,
Oh,
just
I guess we'll
putting
never
a
see his
lap in
lap.
is going to get you. Yeah. Yeah, in
Up,
TCR,
yeah,
just putting a lap in is going to like net you a pretty good position because I think there are probably going to be at least 10 people who won't put a lap in by the looks of things on the live timing.
yeah. Big D Energy is setting a 29.3, puts it in fourth. Still, like half. Wait, my math isn't mathing. Yeah, like 1.5 seconds ahead of Parmesan. Rick N starting his final push lap, being with having just a minute left. So that's gonna be very yeah, it's gonna be pretty close for him.
So I think at this point, Thraxo and Philip are, I think they're in the first sector of their last push laps. Most of the other people are in pits at this moment, so I think qualifying is done for them. Uh, yeah, Thraxo and Philip are probably the one to look out for. Again,
Or any
improve
improvements
the
or
times at the front.
yeah, exactly. We're on board with Bobby here. Same, he was the guy Peter coming to the pits, but we were on board with Bobby, who was the same person who said purple sectors 1 and 2. So just look out for him. He has the pace. I think he is doing his push lap now. I'm pretty sure. So Oh, I'm nearly out of water already. Yep. And as timer hits 0, we're now into overtime. So all new laps, if anybody start a lap now, it won't count. So if you're doing an outlap, if anyone's doing an outlap right now, that's basically it. You just go back to pits. If you're on a push lap, this is it. Just don't mess up. Your last attempt. I thought I have the Tourish Farten website up with a bunch of all the corner names, because I thought I could use that to my advantage. But I guess well, we have the corner names up on the top of the screen, if you hadn't noticed already, in like the middle top of the screen. So
Yeah,
I like it says Hatzenbach right there. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I don't have to do too much. So all my research has gone down the drain. I usually spend some time trying to actually get it to work.
Um, so Thorexo, I think didn't improve. He pitted. Philip as well. He has pitted. So, are there anyone who is actually improving? I think Hex.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's a tough call.
yeah, I think most of the times are done. Um, there is Zero to
Well,
Hero on his Ford Transit. Um, that's
he's
going
still
to
doing a
take
lap.
like quite a while to finish. Yeah, his first sector was 4:48, so we are going to be
Yeah,
here
he's
for a
only
while.
7 minutes in this lap. That's gonna be a that's gonna be a long lap. I don't know how someone could willingly drive for that long of a lap without any racing near side by side. I guess it's the Nordschleife, but it's good with fast cars, not really with slow or
Yeah,
slowish cars. So, in my opinion, it depends. People have opinions, and it's coming from a person who glazes the living crap out of Le Mans as well.
yeah.
So I guess I don't really have an opinion about if I find it boring or funny.
Hmm. Is Bobby on the lap right now?
Yeah, I think Bobby is on a lap. So is Yasarian. Yeah, Yasarian's on a lap. He's going slower in the sectors, but I think he's just taking it cautious, trying to like not start last. But trying to find Bobby here. He said a lap already, or no? No. I'm just trying to find Bobby. Yeah, Sam. We're on board with Sam S, by the way, who his last lap was a 9 minute. I assume he's has spin or something and didn't invalidate. So this is he's improving on his lap right now. Can it find Bobby? That would be preferable. Yep, found him. So he's gone purple sector two, green
Oh,
sector one. So
nice.
so his first sector, so the first fastest first sector was taken away, but he's gone purple in sector two. So
We are going to see some pretty fast guys start from the back in the TCRs. So I think Potato didn't get a lap in. Cesare, I also think, is also going to start from the back. Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting seeing those guys make their So no, actually, Potato is actually on the lap, right?
Yeah, I think he's just managed to bring it around for like before the timer ran out for a last ditch attempt. Because
All right.
I mean, I even if you are a fast driver, starting from the back is a very ballsy move.
Yeah. He is actually on a pretty good lap. I think the second fastest per sector for the TCRs. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where he lands in the pack.
Yep, Sarian just crossing going to the final corner into the straight, and Bobby doing so as well. Sam S here at the top end near Whipperman and going towards uh, East Curve and probably or Ekbach right now, and next or yeah, and then the next one,
Oh, so
the
Bobby has
next left-handers.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
Bobby
wow,
has
that's a
absolutely blitzed. Yeah, five
wow,
seconds to P2.
wow,
Amazing.
that's a rapid lap.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
also
so
under pressure, just last attempt to go, he absolutely blitzed it.
yeah, that was a brilliant lap from him. And yeah, Yusarian actually Yusarian didn't improve. I don't think Yusarian I think Yusarian's lap was invalidated if I can find it. No, I'm blind. Yeah, Sam S currently still on a clean lap so far. Just going through the final section of the track and now onto the main straight. Try to see if he's starting to actually improve or not. Oh, well, I guess we'll never see what he did. Yeah, oh, he's starting to the 8 minute 37 second lap.
But it was invalidated, right?
Was it invalid?
Uh,
Because I can't find sorry the lifetime
oh,
in
he
there.
is. I think he has left. He's not on the server right now. His
Oh,
time is
well,
at
yeah.
the bottom in the store names. Yeah, he
Well,
actually
yeah, then.
did the fastest last sector, but I
Mm,
think he maybe made a mistake on the second. Oh,
sector or
wait.
something,
Yeah, I think
maybe.
second sector he made a mistake. So
I mean, for
otherwise
me, it
he
said
would
he,
have
he
been.
was. I say it was an invalid lap, right? So was it a
Um,
valid or an invalid lap?
I mean, it does show on the live timing, so I would assume it was valid because I don't think it shows invalid lap times.
Hmm. Also, when I had said we had just one broadcast car, we actually have two. So I guess it's a bit less boring for them. We're reaching now 8 minutes 20 seconds into overtime. We have two cars doing a lap, and one of them being one of the broadcast cars, one of the guest cars. So this is going to be a very, very fun, long, entertaining wait. Can't wait to watch them finish. Okay, so I think everyone's gone to pits.
Right.
If
So
the,
Potato
I think,
is going to, I think, start from the back since he didn't put a lap in. Um, yeah, there are quite a few people who are going to who didn't manage to put a lap in, and so um,
yep,
yeah, I think we are going to see some action of people
yep.
trying
So
to
now we
make
have,
their way up the field.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So we now have a minute and 45 seconds now before the actual countdown starts, and you see the broadcast car in the rearview mirror there is rolling backwards slowly. No idea how he's even able to move. It's hilarious. Right, so we aren't actually starting in the start finish line. We or no, we are starting. No, no, hold on. We are starting. Well, no, we are actually. I take it back. So we are. It's going from the, basically the pit lane or the live timing line, I think, all the way down to just before. I gotta remember the corner name. Uh, uh, Hohenrain, whatever the corner is called. So it's a. So it's all 60, not 60, sorry, 40. Yes, it's about 40 cars here. All of them are going to be within that range. And then you just have the broadcast car just rolling back. Surprisingly, we have the transit vans both together, P and P31 and P32 overall. And and we have about
Yeah, yeah, I do think
8 cars.
they do start in front of the TCR, so they didn't put a lap in, right?
Yeah, they're in front of 8 cars, including one radical. Right? It's right. It's 5 red. So it's time for the lights. Lights out, and away we go. As we That's it, and away we go. As Obi still on the hold on, my thing's glitched a bit. Yeah, as we have Obi actually being overtaken by,
Outland,
I
I
think that's
think.
Zero
But
to Hero. I think that's Zero to Hero. Or the Bot Lando, sorry.
no,
Bobby's been overtaken by Bot Lando on the start. He got jumped here. And then we have Sebastian and yeah, we have Sebastian and Deadly um following each other. Oh, we got a couple of moves down into turn 3 there. So as Bobby's right up the tail of Bot Lando, just trying to get close to him, trying to like get a move done before the thing. So a couple of TCRs in the back as well, fighting together. That's Parmesan and yeah, it's Parmesan and
yeah,
Diraxo.
he's
And
actually trying to overtake a radical. That's funny.
surprisingly, there's not much turn 1 carnage, or not much shown on the broadcast.
Yeah, I
So
think
so
most
far it looked pretty
people,
clean.
yeah, most people did
Is it?
make it
Yeah.
without any major accident.
I mean, there were some contacts showing up on the live timing, but it wasn't too much. People are going neck and neck right now as we have a couple of the radicals and then the big, massive TCR pack right there. So Botlando now leading, stays in the lead as we enter the Nordschleife through Hatzenbach. And then we've got obviously a couple of TCRs, and then Radical again, and more TCRs in the distance you'll see later on. You saw in P4 trying to make some ground on Big Dean Energy, trying to catch up to Sebastian. It's right up his tail. He's trying to get. I think he wants to get past him as soon as possible, trying to catch up to Bobby and Botlando. Yeah. Thing is though, with this track, in the Nordschleife, you don't want to go full push all the time. You want to dial it down a couple of notches. You want to go like 90, 95%. Not just because it's an endurance race, it's because the fact this track is so long. You want to keep the focus, trying to avoid crashes, going off track, incidents, and that kind of stuff. So maybe he's pushing, but he's not pushing too much. So, and Isarian did make up 5 positions from the start, as you saw there. He started from P9. Bobby, he started from he started from pole. He lost the position. So he got to Armberg. The top two are still together within a second, and then P3 and P4 as well. This can't make a move done. Hisarian can't get the move done. He just gets so close, but like he gets so close, like through there, through the foxhole and the Ardenar Frost forced, but just can't get it done. There's so much dirty air around everywhere. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
so it's very tricky to overtake with the radicals. Even though they're so small, they're so nimble. We could see a possible move actually. Oh, or I guess not. Yep, Hisarian still slipstreaming him. So going through Metzger's field. Bobby losing touch from that's Yeah, Bobby losing a little bit of ground to Botlando, and it's not really like staying with them. Botlando seems to have had a much better start and seems to be doing much better right now. But
We do
that could
have
all
an overtake.
change. Oh, we do. Do we?
We do have an overtake, which is a TCR overtaking a
Radical?
radical. Parmesan making a move on Daniel.
Well, that's you're gonna see a lot of that coming up. So no spins or lockups yet. That's good. And as you just see on the map on the top right, you have Zero to Hero and Hunter both being separated from the pack, obviously. So we just look at the category leaders. Botlando's still ahead. Botlando's still ahead, trying to defend from Bobby, and Yusarian actually makes the move on Sebastian. So for the most part, it's all been pretty clean racing so far, which is really, really good. Obviously good racing, but also preferably some chaos. Yeah. Seems to be, it's not showing the broadcast, but in the live timing, there's been a lot of collisions here and there, probably from the barrier. So people are going off in a couple of corners, maybe taking it too fast or losing the rear, that kind of stuff. So, unfortunately, we don't have our LMP1 surprise guest here. So that's very unfortunate. It would have been nice to see some of that chaos, but I guess can't have everything. So nobody seems to have DNF from the race, which is very good to see, or good to hear, I guess. Because it is a long race. Bobby nearly loses the car there. You saw the car sliding. You saw how much he had to counter steer to correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been caused from taking too much curb through there. I think that
Oh,
was
there's a spin.
there's been a
That's
spin.
Daniel, I think. Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
think Deadly Daniel's
yeah, that's unfortunate. Bobby still hasn't gotten past. Still trying to catch up. Deli Daniel been overtaken by I think that's Parmesan up ahead. Just trying to get past him. Has the downforce, but doesn't really have the pace. Oh, we got the racks are going a little bit wide there. Bobby's still trying to still trying to tuck into the slipstream properly. Still not fully alongside. They're trading purple laps here and there. Botlando with the fastest sector one, Bobby with the fastest sector two, still within a second of each other. And then Yossarian seems to have gapped Sebastian, and I think through all of that, he's lost ground to Bobby. He's around 4 seconds off, so he should be needing to get into that zone, the groove, and just become one with the track, as you could say.
Yeah, so I think the spin wasn't actually Deadly. It was probably someone behind him
Probably,
because yeah, Deadly's still fighting with Parmesan uh, from the start of the race.
yeah. Now, now that as we're seeing cars go through the Dottinger, don't be surprised if you see a surprise TCR appearance um passing some of these cars. I think it's a bit too late for that. I think it's too far back, but the Parmesan will be gaining some ground on Sebastian, as we see here in the distance. Bobby actually losing some ground to Botlando, who's still in the lead of the race after lap one, or as we go around the final corner. If you just saw over there, you can just see how chaotic it gets because all the TCRs or most of the TCRs are going past the radicals, and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
We saw two TCRs going side by side. It's a three-way
Oh,
battle. Yeah, it's really close racing once again.
yeah, I think
It's
TCR just went side by side with the Radical to there. Oh, but they made out alive. Yeah, that.
no contact or very
Yeah.
minimal contact. So that's good for them, bad for us. Prefer some more carnage, yeah, please. I think that was left stink handle that we were on board with. This is Big Dean Energy. I think he's had a rough start. He is down in P7 overall. I think that's Parmesan right ahead. Correct me. Or
No, I
no,
think Parmesan is. That's Ronan, I think. He's fighting with
Ronan.
Ronan at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Got some more contact here and there. If you just look in the back over there, so you can see how many cars are just inner line together. So we enter through the south end of, or the east, the west. I don't know my coordinate. I don't know my things. The the bottom end of the circuit. Or yeah. So everything seems to have settled now. If it's been 11 or 10 minutes and 10 seconds, everything seems to calm down a bit. Bobby's still trying to catch up to Botlando. Still not there yet. Botlando doing a good job keeping the pace up. And we have four TCRs pretty much in a line. It's good. It's good luck overtaking. It's the best thing I can say it through the Nordschleife.
I think
We
Bobby
got,
might have a chance here on the long straight.
yeah, going to the quit and back straight. One sec. Sorry, I just had to sneeze. Yeah, Bobby point two behind him. He's still losing time. I think Bobby might be running, or no, he's within the slipstream. He's keeping up with him. As they're going to come through Schwedenkreuz, it is flat out. Even if you're side by side, it is still flat out. And AutoCam doing what it does best and changing cameras as this is going to be an overtake possible. But if you just look at the live timing over there, you can see Bobby seems to have backed out a bit. He was 1/10 behind, but nice 410 seems to broke a little bit early. Decided it's best to just wait for a better opportunity. That's a good move from him. It's a long race. Multiple opportunities will come up. Yeah, we see you see Sarian catching up to Bobby there. They seem to have lost a lot of time through all this battling. He's gained about 3 seconds from from the first lap, so it's looking good for him right now. If he can get himself into that battle, that would put him in contention for the lead. But right now, he's just trying to get close. As Bobby, I think, loses the rear a little bit there, took a bit too much speed. It's right up his wing. Trying to pass him as he enters mid his miss. Miss. There we go. That was a bit tough. So we're on board with Roman, and then we're on board with Bobby again. Oh, I think there's a bit of a lag on the stream. Seems to fix itself now. You just see I think that's correct me. I think that's a Big Dean Energy, or is that it's either Deadly Daniel or Big Dean Energy over there, and just in the middle of those TCRs. And then you have Bobby still 0.5 behind, closest to Bergwerk. He's trying to. It's still a couple of straights left in this lap. Obviously, don't want to obviously be side by side through like every corner. Some corners, I've mentioned this a couple of times. Some corners you can't go side by side, or you just both gonna crash out. And I think both of them know that. So that's good. I think there's a couple of collisions as well going on.
Yeah, I think Deadly, I think, made a mistake and Thraxo is in front of him right now. So we have the two TCRs and then we have a couple of radicals behind them, and then the rest of the TCR pack.
Yeah. Yeah, Project Purple said in the chat, radicals are sensitive on throttle. Yeah, I hadn't mentioned that, but yeah, they are quite sensitive. You gotta be really careful with your throttle inputs. You wanna like ease into the throttle. You wanna pretty much do like straight line throttling, you could say. Short shifting on exits just to keep the car stable.
We have two cars, we have two TCRs going side by side through there.
Oh wow,
And
well, it's
just as
so
we
much
were
for
about
that.
to see. Yeah.
So much for that. Auto cam shenanigans. You've just been Lance trolled. Deadly Daniel, I think it's the Rexa in front of him ahead.
Yeah. I mean, you could just see there how much more curb the
Yeah,
TCR took versus
yeah.
Dudley,
I think
who had to completely avoid the curb.
yeah. Deadly Daniel actually broke a bit there. I mean, if you have the balls for it, you could take it flat out or with a big lift. I don't think it'd break, if I remember correctly, but it's better to stay safe. You know, don't want to send a full push. You leave that mindset back in quali.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the TCRs are really close to each other. Um, Dudley Daniel 18, yeah, yeah. Jesse Hoffat and P5 just following Jake Money Shift. So it's same-ish scenario as you could say with Bobby and Lando and the Radicals. They're right. He's right up his tail. He can't find a move. He can't find a position, a place to get the move done. And oh yeah, he's still going through Flanskarten. He's still right there. This goes to show how close some people are in the field.
So Danny is trying to overtake Thraxo here. It's going to be pretty tricky doing that in the third sector, especially
Yeah,
with the long straight where Thrax is just going to zoom past him on the straight.
yeah,
But he
pretty
has to make
much.
sure that yeah, he has to
Yeah,
make
let's
sure
look at
he
that.
does make that move in the GP section.
Or, or yeah, exactly in the GP section or in the GP section basically. S- Um, Jesse, Jesse and Jake still close to each other within the slipstream. There's Josh Fulton around board with Josh Fulton there. I think it was a bit of gravel that got put up behind as we saw on the onboard, but he's on P14. Jesse and P10. We got people saying the fastest laps, I think. Don't know what the fastest lap is right now. I think the fastest lap is held by Botlando, the leader of the race and the radical class. So who seems to have gapped Bobby by about 2 seconds. Well, meanwhile, Jesse is still on his tail. Didn't seem to. It was going not side by side. Sorry, it was camera,
They might
weird
go
camera
side by
angle.
side into the braking zone.
Maybe not. I mean, unless he sends a dive bomb down the inside. It depends. If you would like to, but I think it's best to stay back and just find a better opportunity. Yeah, these guys have been neck and neck since Flance Garden and a bit before that as well. So I bet it's fun for those guys. At least it's not gonna be too boring being alone or separated from the pack. There's always something going on in this race, for all of these cars or most of these cars, I should say. You're
Yeah.
either near a bunch of cars you're fighting for position with, or they're gapping you, such you're gapping them. at least at this point, or you're side by side through like half the corners.
Oh,
See the
so yours just disconnected, I think. He disconnected. Uh, I don't see him on the lap time.
yeah. I think if I remember correctly, he had some problems earlier with something with
Yeah.
VR as well, with like a VR problem. He is on virtual reality. I think he had some problems with VR connections and stuff. I think it's happened this time as well. So
Yeah, that's
unfortunate,
sad.
really unfortunate. He had the pace. He was running P3. Um he was actually kind of catching on Bobby too. Now it's Sebastian in P3 now, who's about 10, 15 seconds off Bobby, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
but oh,
Also
like
the
20-ish
yeah,
seconds.
yeah. Yeah, and also I think the radicals are around about to lap the two transits, the slowest classes. Yeah, I think they're just coming to the back of Hunter.
Yeah, I think my game froze. Yeah, Bobby is catching up. Yeah, Bobby and their bot lander, both of them. Yeah, I think they're catching up to Hunter now. If I gotta check where Hunter is, just to make sure. Oh no, they've passed him already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
passed
got
him.
him. Yeah, they've got him before. They got him just at on the exit of Arnav Frost. So, and then Zero to Hero is a couple of just a little bit more ahead, like a solid minute or two. Jesse's still on the tail of Jake. These guys just don't give up, do they? Just you still keep whacking. He's just trying to send that move down the inside, trying to find that opening, trying to force a mistake, trying to go into his mirrors, but Jake seems to be holding strong, keeping his foot on the ground. So yeah, I think he tried to look for a move on the inside or bad line. Jake locks up a bit to Arnav Frost and puts Jesse right right up right up his tail.
Yeah, Danny has been, I think, stuck behind Waxer for more than a lap now. So he didn't manage to overtake him in the GP section. Yeah, this is
Yep.
going to be quite painful for the radicals who are stuck behind
Yeah.
TCRs. Yeah, but
I
that's
mean,
the nature of the of multi-class. Yeah, especially
yeah.
especially the one we are doing here, where the slower class actually has the high top speed. So yeah, it does make for some pretty interesting matchups between the different classes.
Yeah, 100%. And the pace difference too between the two classes as well. It all adds up.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse, little bit of luck up there. Still trying
Oh,
to
we
force a
have
mistake from Jake.
three classes in one frame there. That's very
That's
nice.
Hunter, Direxo, and Deadly Daniel. Something you won't see too often. We would have had four if he had the LMP2 in this race, but I don't think he was. I don't think he woke up in time, or I think he forgot to join the session. Bobby seemed to have be within a second once more of Botlando, but out of the slipstream as they went past the second transit of Zero to Hero. It doesn't seem like they've been putting too much of a by they I mean the broadcast fans have been putting too much of a fight as we're on board with Jesse and Jake as they go down the
Oh,
inside of the broadcast van. Not much time lost. It was down the straight, so it was pretty much a perfect scenario for them. They could keep fighting. I think Botlander made a mistake of some sorts because Bobby's quite close to him now, within 0.5 seconds. And then the gap between Bobby and Sebastian is now 20, it's up to 20 seconds. So it's a big gap. Bobby
yeah.
actually on a
Similarly in TCRs, I think Thraxo is about 20 seconds behind Parmesan. So
yeah.
yeah, I think in TCRs is quite comfortable for Parmesan at the front, but the fight for the podium positions, that's going to be really feisty.
Yeah. As, yeah. Bobby actually on a fastest lap attempt here. He's gone purple sector too. He doesn't have the fastest sector 1, but yeah. Jesse's still on his tail. It's been almost a lap now. These guys just don't give up, do they? It's really, really close racing between those two, and it's really, really fun to watch. The Axel goes a little bit wide. Deli Daniel, can he do it on the outside? No, he can't. Still stuck behind him. So he goes to East Curve, I think that is. And Bobby, I think, where is Bobby? That is a very good question. Duttinger, right. He's down the main straight. Botlander seems to go all the way to the right-hand side already. Oh, there's been a
Oh,
spin with the Rexo.
Rexo
I think he's stuck. I think he went on the grass there, or maybe it was with the transit van being there in a bad time. But the Rexo's had a little
yeah,
spin. He hasn't lost too much time. At least Deadly Daniel has gone by him.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have a little freeze in the broadcast. As we've gone back to Jesse and Jake, who have been fighting for more than a lap now. It's been a little bit more than a lap. Yeah, they've been fighting at least since Flans Garden 1 last lap, and they were in Flans Garden 2, heading towards yeah, heading towards the Clan Carousel, and yep, yep. So Bobby now, Botlander set the fastest lap, then went to Bobby being a 21.1, 7 tenths faster than Botlander. Yeah, these lot are still, but Bobby hasn't gone past them. Your Big D energy sends it down the inside of that is. Wait, hold
Florian,
on.
Florian, I think.
Ronan.
Or
No,
no?
no, it's not. Where is Big D? I can't find him. Of Florian. Yeah,
He's in.
you're right. Yeah, Bobby's still within a second. Can't get close. Can't get close enough. Botlander doing an incredible job, keeping up the pace, keeping him behind. As we see Direct, so who actually spun and passing him down the straight. That's what we've been talking about. It's they're so much faster down the straight compared to the radicals, the TCRs. So you have the Inferno here. I think that's if I
Against Philip. Yeah, Inferno against Philip. There.
yeah,
Um,
they're neck and neck too. There's a lot of battles going on here, left and right. Botlando and Bobby, Bobby can't get by. Botlando doing really well. Florian, I think, seems to have had a spin of sorts, or maybe just the fact that or a moment of sorts. Maybe just the fact that he's slower than the radical, and it's made it look a bit different. Bobby's right up the tail. I think there's a little bit of internet issue from here, but it's fine. Nothing too bad. Big lockup from Botlando on the front left there. It's really pushing to keep Bobby behind. Josh Folt as you're on board with Josh here. Both Josh and who's Josh and Philip ahead, going wide. Both seem to have locked up a bit, broke a bit late. As we're going to quiddle back onwards to Flugplatz. Still Bobby right up behind him. Could be a possible move down through Schwedenkreuz as Luby looked like he was gonna go alongside. Or is he alongside now? No, he's not. We could never know. Bobby still like he's side by side. I think it's side by side through Schwedenkreuz, or
yeah.
no, almost. Bobby at the outside line, the worst line, so he tucks back in behind Botlando. Another attempt that couldn't be made. I think yes, let's say sync handle as that's Ronan ahead, who is third in the radical class. I mean in the TCR class, apologies. And left sync handle is fifth, as you see on the leaderboard there. Yeah, and basically Sebastian has lost more ground to Bobby, around 30-second gap now between them. And Parmesan has just completely zoomed off. I think his biggest concerns has been, in the TCR class at least, has been in lap one with the first couple of
Yeah,
corners, and then just like an out,
I
and now it's
think,
just it's his own
yeah.
race.
Yeah, I think Parmesan is actually in the hunt for the overall podium. I think he's just 3 seconds from P3 at this point. So
Yeah, it
yeah, if
really is.
Sebastian makes a mistake, I think Parmesan might be on the podium here.
I mean, this may be shocking that slower class being on the podium, but it's in this scenario, specific scenario, it really isn't because of the pace difference. I mean, if Yusarian hadn't disconnected like a 10-ish minutes ago, then maybe that wouldn't be the case. Because Yusarian was pretty much right, was pretty much like a second or two behind Bobby and keeping it there. So maybe the fight for the lead, or at least P2 or the top three would be pretty close together. Bobby still haven't gone past to go through Bergworks. Still right there. He has a little bit of a slipstream, but it's not gonna make too. It's not too. Not gonna make too much of a difference.
Left Singh trying to make his way past Ronan, I think there.
Yeah, he's. It's the same scenario with, I think it was Deadly Daniel and the Raxo. It was just right behind him. He just couldn't get past. He ended up getting past because of the Raxo's mistake, but then the Raxo passed him again. Then he passed him back in GP loop. So yeah. As we see Botlando and Bobby going through the big carousel. And Rumble with left swing handle again, still behind Ronan. Ronan goes a little bit wide there, cuts back off, went through that right-hander. Wait, yeah. It gets really frustrating at times trying to pass these TCRs while being on the same lap, but it happens, you know. What can you do? Yeah, just look at the speed difference as we're going towards mid curve. Just like so much slower down the straight. Bobby still trying to get it past. They're so close to each other. I'm pretty sure Bobby can smell what Lando had for lunch today.
Yeah. We had two TCRs going side by side, one taking the carousel, one had to take the
Uh,
outside line, which
yeah.
isn't really ideal here.
Oh, that's actually Jake is down P7 in the TCRs. Oh, they were. I mean, if you guys remember, they were pretty much Jesse and Jake were pretty much like side by side. Oh, that's. I think that's
Yeah,
Jake on a bit wide there. Yeah, but Jesse and Jake were pretty. They were pretty much n- neck and tail. Is that the term?
yeah.
I think that's what it's called. Neck and neck, neck and tail, whatever. They're basically right next to each other, like a lap or two ago, and now there's like a 20-ish second gap between them.
Yeah.
Seems like Jesse has gotten the better end of the stick, of the Nordschleife stick.
So
That's
Cesare, interestingly, he is P10 and I think P5 in class right now. And I do remember did start from the back since he didn't put a lap in. So
Oh yeah,
it has been a
he is.
pretty, yeah, it has been a pretty impressive climb for him. Like just half an hour into the race, already in the top 5 in the class.
Yep, and both Botlando and Bobby sharing fastest laps once again. But no, yeah, you're right. Cesari started in the back. Oh, that's a little bit of a jump there. I think that's the Raxo and left Letzing handle. No, that's sorry, it's Ronan and Letzing handle. Ronan had a little bit of a jump. There's a lot of flashing lights in this car. That'll that'll get pretty annoying quick.
Both, I think the car head went a bit wide.
Yeah, this about like 35 minutes into the race now. We have Parmesan 30 seconds ahead of P2, who is the Raxo, and by like 30, nearly 40 seconds ahead of Ronan, who is P3 in the TCR class, and then you have Bot, Lando, and Bobby, who have been pretty much neck and neck since the beginning of the race. Bobby losing the lead in the start and has been behind since. Botlando doing a great job keeping him back, maintaining the pace. And we had a great battle between J Jake and Jesse, but Jake seems to have made a skill issue, you could say, and um, Jesse has seems to have gotten pretty lucky to get past, and that is one hell of a livery by Cesari, may I say. Just the nice livery, bro. I think that's the best way I can describe it. So look, that's
Interesting one for sure. Yeah.
say a good look of the livery. It's definitely okay. Whatever suits you, I guess. But yeah, so sorry, coming up to P4 in class after, or no, yeah, no, P5 in class, correction.
P5, yeah.
Yeah, P5 in class after starting from the back of a like a 30 car, 30-ish, like a 25, 30 car TCR grid is immense.
These are the leaders, right? They're coming up against TCR traffic. Yeah.
Is it slap
Yeah, I
traffic
think
or
they're leaders in
no
the
flags?
region.
Yep.
Ye-
So I think I mentioned this earlier. The the radicals are gonna lap the TCRs. Whoa, that car's gone wide. I guess I was saying
Where's the
the radical. Oh, it's gone rallying there. Doesn't want to be a TCR, wants to be a rally car. But yeah, I was saying before that happened, uh, the radicals are gonna lap the TCRs at least once. Maybe not all of the TCRs, but at least the rear end of the pack, as they're doing right now. Bobby still trying to catch up, going to Callan hard. The tight right-hander hairpin on their way towards miss hit miss. Still a long way to go in the slap. Still an hour and 20 minutes to go off the race. 38 minutes in, 37 and a half minutes in, they're still fighting it out.
The crazy thing is that Parmesan is still doing like 31, 32 laps, like almost every lap right now. So, I mean, that kind of pace in the race, I mean, that's pretty mind blowing. And I don't think
Actually,
he's making any mistakes either, right?
actually, that's Parmesan ahead of Sebastian, so Parmesan is now P3 in the overall category.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
Parmesan is on the podium in overall. Sebastian seems to have made a mistake there at some point, and right behind Parmesan.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Sebastian is going faster than Parmesan at least last lap. This lap he may have made a mistake, but in comparison he should get past him pretty quickly because he's about like 4 or 5 seconds faster in last lap at least. So Yep, and that's Sebastian going past. So for Parmesan, it's a low chance, but P3 is overall P3 is still technically like it's still possible, but that would need to happen. That would only happen if Sebastian ends up having a major skill issue, which makes them a solid couple of seconds behind.
I think
Let's say
Leipzig has been, yeah, he's been stuck behind the TCR for like many laps now. I think a
yeah,
couple
it's
of
been
laps
at
at
least
least.
2 laps, and Jesse is actually
Yeah,
caught up. It's Jesse in the background there. So let's left sync is actually in a TCR sandwich, you could say.
yeah.
Both the TCRs luck up a little bit. Left sync still can't get it past and can't get it past in the straight. There's almost no chance he can do that. So he just has to stay patient and wait. Just keep waiting. Remember with Jake money shift, and that's Vin C ahead. So those two are going to be in a battle. Jake goes a little bit wide on through that corner. Goes dips too way onto the grass. Left sync right up Ronan's tail. Still can't get it past because it's just simply faster in the straight. Jake Jake still uh behind Vin C. Don't think they'll be having any don't think they'll be making any moves anytime soon. You should at least look for a move at somewhere around the Kleine Carousel-ish region or range, like part of the track. So, or maybe a very cheeky dive bomb, or one of them making a skill issue, or like going off wide, breaking a bit late, that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah, no, left sync seems to have made a skill issue. Now Jesse is all the way behind. I mean, apart from the couple of people that is going off here and there, hitting the wall, maybe doing a bit of a going a rally adventure. Apart from those people, it's basically it's all been pretty clean. A couple of contacts between the drivers, but that's what Robin is racing, yeah.
Yeah.
See a decent lockup from from Ronan. No, yeah, then that's Jake trying to. That's actually, is that Vinci? No, that's Jake still trying to find a move on Vinci here. They're right next to each other. Big Dean Energy trying to look for a move down the inside here for Flans Garden 2, going through Stefan Beloff S. Side by side, different classes, if I may just add. They're completely different classes. One is it's a fridge versus an aerodynamic snail. You
Yeah.
could consider it
Yeah, I
a
mean,
fun
there's no
aero.
point. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no point overtaking TCRs in this section because they're just going to
It,
go past in the straight.
oh yeah, 100%.
So yeah, you should try to
Get it done as
tuck
soon
in
as
behind
possible.
them. Yeah, tuck in behind
Yeah.
them and try to do it in the
Oh,
cheapest. Oh,
that's a
and as
moment.
you say that, yeah,
Yeah, it seems like Jesse hit the wall there. I saw the rear came flying up. It's almost like it's almost like he hit a pebble and just like, his rear just shut up. A very, very big pebble. Yeah,
yeah. I
just
mean,
look at
that
Ronan
corner
over
is
there.
like, yeah, that corner is barely flat out in the TCR, so you have to be really spot on with your line through there. Otherwise, you're going to end up just like
Oh,
we
Jesse.
saw that TCR end up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Jesse now behind Jake, so it's come all the way around. But Jesse's now behind Jake, and they're gonna. Or no, sorry, behind Vinci. Jake actually went past Jesse. I mean Vinci. Jake went past Vinci, so now Jesse's now behind Vinci, who's now behind Jake.
Yeah, those
No,
three are pretty close
or,
together, I think.
oh, hold
Yeah, I mean
on.
that's
Okay,
right.
never mind. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's just I think it's sorry. Jake, Vinci, then Jesse. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's
As Jesse just goes past Hunter, the the last place car overall and last in class. There's a big gap between Zero to Hero, the other what do you call it, the other broadcast van driver and Hunter. So it's more than 2 minutes. It's like 4 or 5 minutes, like halfway across the track. So
Caesar
London.
is actually not.
Go on.
Yeah, so Caesar is actually not that far from P3 in class. I think he's just like 5 seconds behind Bonan at this point. So yeah,
Bobby actually being
if he does manage to,
yeah. Go
yeah,
on.
if he
Sorry.
does manage to get on the podium, that would be quite a drive from back of the grid to P3.
So you mentioned he's in P4 now.
Yeah, he's in P4, and
Oh,
I
he
think
is.
yeah, just a few seconds behind
Left
Ronan in
sync.
P3.
Yeah, I think he should be right up the tail of left sync and then Big Dean. But yeah, actually, Botlando seems to, but so not Botlando, sorry, Bobby is now 4 seconds off Botlando. Seems to have, we made a mistake, or maybe just how the traffic's been. Um, there's been a gap created now, and then there's obviously a 50-second gap to Sebastian, who is still ahead of Parmesan, but not by much. So we have Jake, Vinci, then Jesse trying to get past. So trying to just yeah. So Vinci look trying to get past him, trying to get close, and Jake just catching back up after the spin. Obviously trying to go past Jake to keep the original position. No, yeah, to keep how it was when Jake spun out. So
He might have a chance here.
Vinci,
I think.
yeah, Vinci
Yeah.
trying to go around the outside of through Quiddleback before Flugplatz. Did they make contact? We will never know.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they are still in order in
Yeah, no,
the
Vinci's still
timing.
behind him. Yeah, Vinci's still behind Jake. I think he backed out. It's a good call. He backed out. That would have been an extremely, extremely stupid move in my opinion. To go around the outside of
Yeah.
Hans Garden. I mean, sorry, Flugplatz. It's a lot of corner with F names. Yeah, so go through the foxhole. Um, Vinci's still, yeah, maybe still looking for a move. I saw that's an that's an interesting livery. It hurts my. That's a very interesting pattern for a livery. It hurts the. It's like a tiger-ish. Oh,
Oh,
that's a spin. Is that the Rexo or oh,
oh,
that's a. Whoa,
that's a bad rejoin. Yeah.
that regen was not optimal. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I think that was
I think
Ronan.
he took out.
Or he didn't take anybody out. I think he just he rejoined
Yeah.
poorly and he had to take a voting action and ended up
Yeah.
hitting the wall. I know that wasn't Jake. I think it was no. That has to be Jake, right? By the way, this Sergio Gonzalez, that livery, is it hurts my eyes. The livery that Sergio Gonzalez is running, it's the dotted pattern is just like yeah. S- Stare into the livery for a second, right? Just just look, focus on the dots in the livery, or do you do you not feel like you're gonna lose your mind? Oh, he
Yeah,
Vinci hits the wall there.
that's
Takes a little bit too much speed. That's not really optimal for a good lap, obviously. Or to keep Jesse behind, but Jesse is a little bit far away, so yeah, so I guess not too much time lost. Oh, big lock up there. Jesse still Jesse trying to find a move around Vinci. Rear lock up takes too much curb on exit of berg work. You can see he was pretty much skating on the exit curb. We did say they could what do you say it? Like eat the curbs pretty much, but there's still a limit for how much they can eat, you know.
yeah.
If that was in a real race, he'd definitely have floor damage. I mean, it's not. I think like half the people here would have DNF by now. It's real life,
Yeah.
but yeah. On board with Josh Fulton, I think P13 in class here, and then back with Jesse as we on our way to the big carousel. You see Jake just ahead there, Jesse and Vinny, followed by Vinny and then Jesse. It's still neck and neck. Bobby actually going purple. Purple on both sectors. Still 3 seconds off, but he is on a flying lap right now. He's literally flying. You can expect people to come into the pits anytime, or so at some point within the hour. Bobby's no, sorry, yeah. Bobby sets a lap of an 8:18.0, which is absolutely mental. I just have to say, purple purple sectors on all three sectors.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah, I think
easy
he
last
got a
lap.
bit of cleaner. Yeah,
Yeah.
he got a bit of cleaner behind Portland. He's unleashing his true pace right now. But yeah, he still has to
Pass
overtake
him.
Fortlander if he wants to take the win.
Yeah, exactly. He was about he's about like 2.3, 2.2, 2.3 seconds faster than Botlander last lap. Which still, I mean, in the big picture, it isn't too big of a gap. However, in the scenario, the fact that they're so close together, it is a pretty big gap. Oh, and there's a 50-second gap between Parmesan and the Rexa, so the gap is absolutely mental. Parmesan actually staying within 10 seconds of Sebastian, who doesn't seem to be gapping him as quickly as he would prefer to keep that P3 overall.
Yeah. Yeah, and Thraxa himself isn't. He's doing pretty good laps at the moment, like 48, 41s. Yeah, and
Yeah,
like, he's, yeah, but Parmesan is just in a completely different league.
yeah. Excluding Parmesan, the Rexo is not actually no, the Rexo isn't the fastest. It's Cesari who's actually the fastest. If you Cesari's last lap was a
Oh yeah,
39.1 compared to the Rexo's
yeah,
43.1. It's pretty much it's pretty much 4 seconds on the dot faster. So Cesar is really, really pushing. He is now. Well, no, yeah, he is actually. Where is he? Uh, well, before we get to that, just gotta say, Jesse still hasn't made the move. He has all the slipstream, but Vinci also has a slipstream on Jake. Vinci tries to go for around the outside of Jake. Maybe they go side by side through. Is a Tier Garden. I know he tucks back in. Good call. Don't wanna. It's a very, very, very tight place. It's like narrows down pretty much in the racing line, especially with the racing line. So it's not really it's not really worth setting a move there. It's better to stay patient and wait for turn one or in the GP loop. As Jake goes defensive, Cesari tries to look for a move around the outside. No, it's a bit too far off. Jesse's still falling behind. Jake has a little bit of a compromised line. Jesse catches up to Vinci because Vinci seems to have had a bit of a shocker for turn one. Yeah, Jesse's right up in C's tail here. Small lockups from both the drivers. Yeah, Jesse goes side by side with Vince C here. Can we see the move be complete? Vinci
Yeah,
keeps it
that
around the
was it.
outside, but he goes a little bit, washes out a bit wide, so Jesse that's a big stutter. Jesse's able to make the move, keeping it clear off of Vinci. Now, now Jesse has his eyes set on Jake, um, like he did like 30 minutes ago before Jake had a mistake. Still a bit bummed out we don't have the what do you call it? We're still a bit bummed out we don't have because we don't have the LMP1 lapping around. Otherwise, it would have been even more chaotic. I mean, it's not too much chaos already right now. Jesse and Jake had small contact, I think, but it's very minor. Maybe some rubbing. Sorry. Um. No, never mind. I thought it was a different car. Yeah. Yeah. Vinci seems to have lost a bit of touch compared to lost a bit of touch to Jesse, and Jesse's right again, once again behind him, behind Jake. And as we see, we're on board. I think that's 0 to hero. No, I think that's 0 to hero if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, that was 0 to hero. The transit van you saw. You just look at the left side of the Audi there. It's just really banged up. I think you're gonna see that. I think it's gonna be like a common thing with a lot of these cars. Most of them are like pretty banged up already from hitting the wall, regrazing the wall, side by side contact, that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, the Bobby is still 3.5 seconds back. I can't. He doesn't seem to be catching Bot Lando as much as I think he would want to. But they are still they're like consistently in that range, like how they're consistently within 1 second before I assume Bobby made a mistake. So we're on board with Florian P17 in class. He is trying to make a move on. Okay, never mind. Rumble with Jesse again. Jesse and Jake. These two lot fighting once more. Really close. Big Dean Energy still trying to get past the Rexo. I think that's the Rexo, is it? Uh, yeah, no, that is the Rexo. Still trying to get past the Rexo. Ooh, that's. I think that's a car gone wide. Is that lap traffic or? That's a tough call to make. Yeah, no, that is lap traffic. So Jesse and Jake just passed through a lapped car. And I think Big Dean Energy has gone past the Rexo here through Bergwork. So that's at least he got that move done before. At least that early on, so he can actually increase the gap so he doesn't immediately get overtaken by the Rexo again through the main straight. We're nearly an hour into the race now.
Yeah, we might start
That's
to see some bits
oh,
pretty soon
hold
because yeah,
hold on. That's Jake, who actually went a bit slow and it's Vinci right behind him. So Jesse went past Jake once again, and Jake made a mistake once again, and now is fighting Vinci once again. But oh, they're going side by side through here. They're gonna go side by side through Bergwerk on. Yeah, no, it's not Bergwerk. Sorry, Kesselchen. They're heading towards Mud Curve. I think. Yeah, Jake seems to have backed off a bit. It's a good idea. Good idea that he did. Because as they get towards mid curve or bravery corner, you really don't want to be side by side with anybody there. Just want to keep it safe and pass him some other time. Jump up with Josh again. It's P14. He was P12 a couple of moments. I mean, like last time he was on, I think it was P12 like 13ish minutes ago. Potato actually now P10. He was also one of the drivers who started from the back, so that's good gains
Yeah.
for Potato. But still a long ways off from Parmesan, who's nearly a minute ahead of the Rexo now in P2. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier and before I interrupted you, we're nearly reaching an hour into the race. You're gonna expect to see people diving to the pits now, for fuel and tires. That should be their only stop. Should. It might not be. You never know.
Yeah, and for the TCRs, the pit stop is going to be pretty long, I think around a minute, because the refueling process for them is quite slow. So, yeah, I think they would be like towards the end of the current tank now, so they would almost have to do uh, put a quite a lot of fuel in there, and yeah, that's going to take a long time.
Yep. And I think what do you call it? Um, yeah. So and I think for the actual pit stops, it's gonna be so it's not gonna like before in like normally in a set of course that you do fuel and tires in the same time, but I think in this time it's gonna be fuel first, then
Yeah.
tires and damage together. So 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 change that's why there was a strategy option where you could just double stint the tires with the TCRs so to save some time in the pits. I think oh that's a small moment from that's a small moment from Jake. We're coming loose.
And yeah, I think Parmesan is already in the pits right now. He's doing his pit stop.
Yep, he's in the pits. Once he's in the pits, that means everybody else behind him should pit this lap. If not, they are extreme. No offense, but a little bit stupid because they probably won't have enough fuel. I'm
Yeah.
just insulting everybody here. I should probably calm down with that. I apologize too if I insulted you guys. Or you guys as in the drivers. Anyways, Bobby actually ahead of Botlando by 16 seconds. Was that a mistake or has
Uh,
none of them have pit so far? I think so.
yeah, I think
That
Botlando made a mistake in the last sector. His last sector is like 20 seconds lower. Yeah,
yeah, no, that's
probably a
very
spin, I think.
unfortunate. Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate. Remember when I said you'd be extremely stupid if you stayed out? The Rexo's staying out.
He's
I
actually
apologize.
listening right now.
Yeah, I
He's in
noticed
the
that. I
audience.
apologize. The Rexo, no, you're not stupid. Jake, Slipstream. Okay, so it's only Parmesan that's coming in. Okay, I might be the stupid one. Maybe I'm the stupid one here. Maybe just
Yeah, no
Parmesan doing an early
surprises
pit
there.
stop. Okay. Shots fired. Calm down, man. But yeah, Parmesan seems to have done a stop early. I mean, yeah. So he should he should have enough fuel to make it to the end. Well, obviously, if a tank can last another lap, then yeah, he should have enough fuel to make it to the end. If he just puts in a full tank, and because he's so far ahead, it's not really gonna harm him if he swaps tires too. So it's like it's basically free for him. Yeah, Jesse just seems to have completely gapped Jake and Vinci here. Jake Jake has pace Jake has pace, like it's pretty similar pace with Jesse, but thing is that he's not too consistent and he keeps making mistakes. I mean, so does Jesse, but Jake makes more mistakes than Jesse, is what we've seen. And we've been in this scenario before, and it's the scenario again.
Mm. Yeah, so the interesting thing is that Parmesan has actually come out quite a way behind. I think he's in P7, and I think he had a 50-second lead. So yeah, that tells you how much
I'm a
time
dick.
the pits are going to take. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he also changed tires, which is actually fine. It's understandable.
Your tire change
Like,
is actually, I think, just 8 seconds. So yeah, that shouldn't take too long. I would say it's a good idea to change tires, just so you don't make any mistakes.
well, it
Um,
depends. It depends on the scenario, though. I mean, if you have a big lead to the guys behind, or if
yeah,
you're battling the guy ahead, it's much better for track position. It's much better if you have track position. So,
yeah.
it might just be a track. It might just be track position versus such a big lead or such dominance that you can just do whatever the hell you want and you'd still be ahead
Mhm.
by like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I think. Oh yeah, a lot of the TCRs are entering the pits now. Only a couple of them staying out. It seems to put a varying amount of fuel. So interesting strategies from some of these people.
yeah. So I think Potato is trying to offset his pit stop with the others ahead. So I guess trying to undercut them so he doesn't have to fight as much traffic. Because he's
Yeah,
definitely like his pace is definitely faster than the guys ahead.
yeah. I think the only reason he's been screwed over a little bit, you could say, is because of the fact that he started from the pits.
Yeah,
Well, not from the pits, sorry, from
on the back.
the grid. Yeah, from the back of the grid. I think probably one of our interesting battles between Bobby and Botlando. Now that that's gone, there's nothing we can really like rely on for some form of entertainment. So we've reached. So now I think we've reached that point of the stage. At that point, this point of the race, where everyone seems to be spread apart, spread out, and it's just only like a handful of people racing, and everyone's at their own pace. And yeah, instead of we have a couple of people who are within 5 seconds
Yeah,
of each other,
Vinci is
5, 10 seconds.
actually yeah, Vinci is actually pretty close to Jake still. Um, yeah, that fight is still, I think, not over at the moment.
Yeah, Parmesan down in 14th overall. Um, after the pit stop, right behind Philip in the green
Yeah, it's
TCR.
catching this guy.
Yep, and Vinci, Jake and Vinci, Jake keeping a pretty decent gap. Oh, Jake goes a bit wide there through Bergwerk, takes too much speed, like allows Vinci to go around down the inside, and passes him. So that means that's Jake's loss there. Jake,
Yeah.
that means he will have to tuck in behind the slipstream of Vinci. And we have a transit van with a police car up ahead. No speeding, no speeding, yeah. Or they'll pit maneuver you and arrest you. You don't want that, do you? So just keep it clean and you won't be killed. I think the only thing that's happened with that spin is that they've literally swapped positions. They have a similar-ish gap between each other, like as it was when Jake was ahead and Vin behind. But it's just that Vin's ahead and not
Yeah.
Jake's behind.
Hmm.
Right, yeah, that's Spot Lando coming to the pits and Bobby staying out
I
for
think
one more lap.
Vinci made a mistake. Yeah, Vinci is like 9 seconds behind now, so I think
What
he
the
had an
hell?
argument.
No, who the hell? No, what?
Oh,
Oh,
there
that's
goes Radical.
that goes let's left
Yeah, that's
sync.
left sync. Yeah.
He's gotta be careful on the rejoin there. You don't want to block too much of the track. Luckily, there's no cars coming up right there. Yeah, who? No, yeah, no, no. That's Vinci ahead. No,
Oh, is he?
Vinci didn't make a mistake. Yeah, no, that's Vinci ahead.
Oh, right.
Vinci is
Right. Sorry.
the like the white with sponsors car.
Yeah,
For
I know
a
that.
second, it looked like it depends on how or where you look at it. It looks like the Rex's livery, but it's not. It's Vinci
Yeah,
because of the weird pattern on the front. But yeah, I think it's either Bobby is already pit, but I don't think so. Bot Lando and Sebastian have both are both pitting right now. I mean, and yeah, and I think fourth one, uh, um, yeah, I think Deadly Daniel stays out. So Bobby and Deadly Daniel staying out. Seb and Bot Lando both pitting. With Vinci goes a bit wide through Flans Garden one that allows Jake to go to keep send around the outside. Can he keep around the outside to Flans Garden two? No idea. We've just been Lance Stroll once more. Right, can we go back to
Jake
the
is ahead.
interesting battle? All right, yeah, no. So Jake seems to have made the move. Yeah, good catch there. Jake seems to have made the move on Vinci. They're actually currently um, leading the TCR pack. Big Dean Energy coming to the pits now. Seb is
Yeah,
still in the
Thrax, I
pits.
think,
Jake made a
would
little
need
bit of
to
a
pit
mistake. Vinci goes
as
by
well.
once more.
Yeah, these two
So
have been swapping positions, I think,
yeah, left and
for the
right, and I
past
think
couple of
that's
laps.
Parmesan as well, right behind them. Yeah, that's Parmesan right behind them as well. So all of that battling and stuff has allowed Parmesan to catch up. It's not like Parmesan was like 15, 20 seconds faster than them anyways. Yeah, that's definitely not the cause. Definitely. But yeah, those two are side by side, and Parmesan is just right there. They're going side by side to Tiergarten. Jake seems to back up. Vinci's ahead, so that's good. Parmesan still behind. Oh, Vinci goes a little bit
So,
wide through the final chicane. Oh, he slows down. He
oh,
hits him in the rear. Parmesan that allows Parmesan to go by. Oh, what is that?
oh, they were
That looked like
contact.
I think that was Vinci
Yeah, he
trying to
was
enter the
trying
pits.
to.
Whoa, that was
Yeah,
Vinci trying to enter the pits, and it's just a really really unfortunate scenario because it looked like it just looked like what do you call it? Vinci just hit Parmesan, but I think what happened was he was just trying to enter the pits, and it was just really 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 unfortunate that
yeah,
Parmesan
there was
was
car
right
there.
there on the inside. I think all of this happened because of the fact that he had that one moment on that chicane, the final chicane.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really blame that on anybody. That's more of a racing incident, as everybody, or at least P2 to P8, are now into the pits and the
yeah.
TCR class. I think they went full tank. Parmesan seems to have gone partial tank for each. It says Zari in P5. That's a
Florian,
Ronan in P4.
yeah. Florian hasn't stopped, has he? Like he is in
Ronan.
P3.
Who?
Florian.
Florian. No, he hasn't stopped yet. Well, no, he has he?
Yeah.
Because in the live timing it says he has, but
Yeah, I mean,
maybe maybe he pulled the undercut strategy at Century and he ended up P3. Because if that is the case, then Ronan is an absolute genius. But maybe not. We'll see.
laps. Yeah, I think Florian pitted 3 laps earlier if the live timings are to be believed.
Did he pit? Did he pit alongside? Parmesan or like a lap after him?
He pitted, I think, 2 laps before Parmesan.
Okay, he's
So
really gone for the undercut strategy then.
yeah,
So
but I don't
this
think he would have. He will have fuel to the end of the race because I don't think the.
maybe no,
Uh,
because if you look at the Rexa, because like not the Rexa, P2 to P8 basically pitted with like 40 like 50 minutes remaining. So they stood out for an hour and 10. Well, maybe.
yeah,
It's gonna be a tough call. I think that was a
yeah,
bit of
it's
a
going to be
risky.
quite close. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a risky move pitting that early. But the order has been restored at least for the top two. Parmesan in the lead, the Rexa P2, 62-second of a gap now, and Bobby and Deadly Daniel yet to pit. Cesari actually, I think, had problems 3 minutes ago. His wheel got stuck and it didn't want to change. That's what he said in the game chat. So I think that might have cost him a couple of a little bit of time here and there. Bobby asking if he has to change tires. Can someone tell the man for the things? Yes. For the radicals, you have to change the tires.
He has already done the pit stop, right?
No, Bobby's still yet to pit.
Ah,
So
so
he stayed
I
out.
think Deadly
Yeah,
we have yet to pit. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, both Bobby and Deadly are staying out right now. Cesari has gained 38 positions since the beginning of the race. It's 38 positions in the overall category. It's absolutely mental how with this guy's drive. I mean, the Nordschleife, anything could happen. Sam S being tailed by I forgot what that was. Um, I think the camera just cut before we saw contact by Jesse. There we go. So I think it was contact between Jesse and Sam S over there. It's going to the miss. Sorry, right up the tail of Ronan. That is, I think. Yep. No, Florian. No, Ronan. Right. Yeah, my bad. Right up the tail of Ronan there. Through miss. Could be looking for a move, maybe pressure him into making a mistake. Jesse goes down the inside of I think that's Vinci. No, hold on.
No, actually, Potato is fighting with Vinci. I think. Um,
Oh, then
they
then
are both of them are a bit far behind.
oh the hell? Oh, that's Luby then. Luby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Vinci of what the hell happened to Vin? That's Philip, Vinci, and yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that's yeah, Vinci and Potato. What has happened to
Mhm.
Vinci? He's dropped in pace. Maybe he had a couple of spins, but he is so far back now compared to Jake, or maybe not too far back, but yeah. Vinci, do you think? I think he's trying to catch up, but he's just a little bit too slow. Than slower than Potato. Potato takes too much curve. Vinci misses the apex. Nearly hits the ball. And Diraxo says he thinks he underfueled. And oh, that's left. That's not left sync. That's Big D Energy who's gone off. And Deadly Daniel in the pits doing his pit stop. God, I hate the squeaking of the brakes. Has to be one of the worst noises ever. But yeah, I think that was Big Dean Energy making a mistake. Seems to have lost the position to left sync handle. Cesare is still behind Ronan. 0.5 seconds, within a second. Just trying to get that move done. Bobby's still staying out. He seems to go on full tank. Or the radicals can make their tank last an hour and 20 plus minutes. Both could be the case, you never know. Oh, is that Cesare looking for a move? Oh, they're so close. He's trying to find a move, but he trying to get the move down, but he couldn't. Just then through, I think it was Flans Garden, maybe. But with Hex, it's right behind. What was that? Vinci, yeah. And Cesare going. Cesare still trying to get him and get Ronan going to that. Now they're going to Fence Garden. My bad. So now, yeah, and we have Hex here, still trying to catch up to Vinci. Vinci, I think he's looking for a mistake from Vinci. You see, he's made a couple of mistakes here and there, obviously. So well, yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to leave right now. It's like 2 a.m. in the night, so yeah, good luck for you
All right,
on the rest of the 40 minutes, and yeah, good luck to everyone in the race as well.
right. Thank you for joining me, Hassan. Oh, there's a car spawn now right there, actually. But yeah, yeah. But thank you for joining me, Hassan. Hope you have a great night.
Goodbye. Thank you.
See ya. Right, it's just me now. Oh, and that's Cesare trying to look for a move around the outside. I was really forcing it. Two wheels on the grass there, and that was, I think he made the move stick. If I'm not mistaken. No, yes, he has. If you look in the live timing, he has Ronan right behind Cesare going through Tier Garden, and yeah, I think he made the move. Cesare made the move in the middle of the straight, went to the chicane. Yeah, add the emphasis on the SCH. But yeah, Ronan will have a slipstream of sorts. You see the brick of a broadcast van right there. I guess the real fridge, you could say. That's so yeah, that's Sam S, Lubul and Jake battling it out right now. A little bit of a lockup from Jake there. Jake seeming to have a slipstream now down the start finish. Oh, and that's Lubul going to the pits. He seems to have gone for a full tank, and now he's entering the pits for the final in the within the final 40 minutes or so. Bobby still yet to pit, still ahead of now Botlando. Before it was Deadly Daniel, but now it's Botlando. The gap is big, but remember, there's still a pit needed to be done. Oh, that's Peter who's setting it down the inside. That was a bit of a risky move. His rear came out loose over there through Flans Garden on the exit, I mean. And yeah, Sam S trying to get past Jake, just can't do it. Just losing so much time. Yeah, and Cesare's already gapped Ronan by a second, 1.8, nearly 2 seconds. Oh, that's a slide. From I think the Inferno. He seems to have kept it out of the barrier and recovered. That's a bit of a lag. Or was it from someone else? I think it was. Jake goes a little bit wide. So does Sam S. And yeah, you see, what's the other guy's name? I forget. Philip in the distance right here, the green Hyundai. You gotta reckon. Oh, that's. I gotta remember these names. I swear. That's one of the That's not Ronan. That was. It's one of the lapped, or it's one of the about to be lapped. So I was say hypercars, about to be lapped. It's TCRs. One a bit wide. Sam S and Jake passing the other broadcast van. That's Peter going a bit off. Oh, he slides even more. Peter, last in class, he's facing the wrong direction. He needs to, yeah, he needs to make sure he rejoins as soon as possible and make sure there's no other cars around because there's no space to rejoin. We seem to have had a disconnection. It seems to have rejoined. Maybe internet issues, I presume. We still only have two DNFs right now, being Yasarian and Arman. So it was Hex, right? It was Hex. With Sam S and Jake still fighting it out. Obviously, Jake having the better top speed as they head towards Schwerenkreuz. Sam S can't get it done, so he holds back. Jake has to brake for Schwerenkreuz. Meanwhile, Sam S can take it flat. And it doesn't really matter because I think the speed difference is too big anyways. As Hex goes through Flugplatz, and we have broadcast van there. Nothing. There doesn't seem to be any issues with the traffic and with the broadcast vans. I mean, because like they aren't really losing too much time with each other with their lapping and that kind of stuff. So that's good thing, I guess. Like keep staying to one side. I mean, you don't have to, but with blue flags over here, especially in RRR, or real rookie racing, the rules are just stick to your line and let the faster car pass. But in the real life Nordschleife, they do it that the slower class, like the stick to one side of the track and let the faster class pass from there. I think that's what they're doing with the broadcast van. Sam S tries to stick around the outside of Callenhard, but no, he can't make it. Does he go down the inside of this fast flat out chicane? I think it is. No, he doesn't. As they go through miss it miss and camera changes. With Big Dean Energy and left sync handle. If you remember earlier, Big Dean Energy actually spun out and they created a bit of a gap. Now left sync handle also spun out a bit its wall, and now they're back together fighting. And fill up again. Howdy. Sam S still can't get past Jake. It's in You have to get it. That's the thing is you have to be close enough to get it done within the GP loop, or at least by or like before Flaps Garden or that area of the track, that bit of the third sector. Because if you get it in the latter end of the third sector, like near I forgot the corner name, I swear. The Belanov S, that's what it's called. Yeah. If you if you pass them by, like say the Belanov S, oh, both of them go off. They both take too much speed. Was there any contact? I don't think so. I think contact was made after the fact that they both went off. It was just they just went off in unison. That was a bit funny, sad but funny. Obviously, that's the that's Peter, I think, who's going off there with the black and white camo-ish livery with the radical. On board with Big Dean Energy again, who who's who is still behind left sync, 1 second back, doesn't really, so it won't really have too much of a slipstream effect. Sam S doesn't take the carousel, takes the upper bit of the track, loses time to Jake there by doing that. So it's not really optimal, you could say. I was wrong about the slipstream. Big D Energy is now 2/10 off. Could be a difference between gear ratios, but I don't think that's the case. I think the slipstream is just pretty strong, and that's Hex gone off again. And the Inferno, who actually disconnected, has reconnected and is back on track. Oh yeah, he's definitely has internet issues as he goes off there. If you didn't see, about to hit the barrier. There's Big D Energy and I forgot the other guy's name already. Uh, Yeah, and left sync handle. Big D Energy actually makes the move. If you see the leader in the live timing down the inside, I think, of turn one. Sam S still stuck behind Jake as the yep. All right, so we just got the so this is the confirmation. So he has created the move, made the move. There we go. That sucks. He's made the move, and now left sync handle needs to get his way back up again. Jake has made the move for Flans Carton, so that's good, I guess. But Jake is still gonna catch up with him because he's still pretty close together. They're still pretty close together, and Jake's still gonna pass him down the straight, and then it's gonna be like this all over again. But yeah, as they go through Stefan Belov S and towards the Kleiner Care. So Joe, that's Sam S going on the grass at too much speed there and ended up losing the rear uh through Shawal Benz ones. I can't say some of these names. Ignore my horrendous pronunciation. But yeah, that's Jake ahead now again, and he's gonna create a big gap through the Dottinger, and it's Sam S's job again to catch up to him to repeat that one more time. So we have actually 30 seconds left. Bobby, has he pitted or? Yeah, Bobby has pitted. He's created a 90-second gap to Bot Lando. It seems like a pure 90-second gap to Bot Lando. It's either Bobby might, yeah, Bobby might have swapped tires. Might have not swapped tires. Sorry. But yeah, that's a really big gap to Portland in P2, which means it's basically, for now at least, it's looking like Bobby's going to win the race by a landslide. And Parmesan, 78 seconds ahead of the Rexo. So it's more dominance there. Oh, that's Sam S. Once more going off. He locks up a bit and goes straight on to the final chicane. Um, luckily, it won't be. Oh, he dives into the pits actually. Is he repairing damage? But does he have suspension damage or has he is he yet to pit? He is yet to pit. So Sam S is entering the pits right now um for his pit stop. Some really interesting strategies going on between all of these guys here. A lot of people pitting really late, especially in the radical class, especially with the radicals, I mean, or the yeah, you can see the SR3 class, or yeah, but with the radicals, some people are pitting very late, like Sam S. Some people pit very early, like Butlando. Very early, I say. I mean, like, yeah, it's more. I think it's more like it's more a matter of how much fuel they're using in the tank, or how much fuel they put in the tank. As Big Dean Energy goes off once more through Adenauer Forest, and that's left sync who goes up ahead again. Just a couple of moments ago, Big Dean passed him down the inside of turn one. That was a move that we couldn't see, but now he's made a mistake, it seems. And he's gonna have to do all the work again to catch up to Big Dean. I mean, to catch up to. I keep forgetting this name. I should have it memorized by now. Left sync handle. All right, just so you know, Cesari, who's come from the back end of the field, is now in P3. So he's made the comeback drive of all comeback drives in the TCR class. He has come from pretty much last P3. So it's amazing driving from him so far. Last lap, he was about 2 seconds faster than the Rexo too. So he might, yeah. So there's a chance he might catch the Rexo by the end, and especially with the lingering threat of the Rexo underfueling, because he mentioned that in the game chat earlier. I think that's Hex going a little bit wide through Hatzenbach, I think, or like a corner before Hatzenbach. Yeah, the gap between Zero to Hero and Hunter has pretty much been extended to half a lap now. Seems like Hunter is struggling a bit with driving the broadcast fan, and Zero to Hero is just significantly better in with the broadcast fan. So you never know. Maybe Zero to Hero has a crash so big it slows down by literally by like 5-10 minutes. You saw Big D Energy send it into the carousel. I think he gained some time too from sending it that hard. So yeah, he's now within a second of left sync handle, though it's obviously not close enough yet. And we're going through, yeah, can't remember the corner name. We're going through like the main bit of the third sector basically. Yeah, going through Whipperman now. Big D Energy is within now zero point 0.7 seconds, zero point 0.8 seconds. Eschbach is still staying behind him. I think he's just staying, he's just staying patient. Heck's taking so much curb there. Oh, looks like he breaks a bit too late. Has a little graze with the barrier. Nothing too bad. Yeah, Big T Energy's right up his tail now. Let's go to the east curve as they're going towards Flanskarten and oh, that's a shunt. That's Cesari. Cesari and Peter have been involved in a crash. Cesari goes off. Cesari spins, and then that's Peter as well over there. That's a nasty one. Can't quite tell if it was Peter's fault or if it was just Cesari says sorry in chat, so I think it was Cesari's fault as Peter shunned past him there. Big Dean Energy goes side by side through this one corner. I can't remember. I think yeah, through a corner. Big Dean going on the grass. Right, towards the Kleine Carousel. Oh yeah, he's spun out. Yeah, that does tend to happen. You go on the grass, he's pretty much oh, I gotta calm down a sec. He was pretty much almost entirely on the grass, and he had to brake as well, so it's expected for him to spin. There's not much he could have done. Now he's caught up, and now he's back down with a 10-second gap to left sync handle. Those two have been battling pretty fiercely too, and in this latter half of the race, the latter quarter, I guess. Cesari, still P3. I mean, I think he's created a big gap to Ronan, a big-ish gap, like a decent gap to Ronan. So after that incident, he didn't lose too much time. Yeah, he created like a 5-second gap, but he maybe. I mean, depends. If the Raxo makes a big mistake, then Cesari still has a chance to catch up to him. As Parmesan being completely a different league of his. What the hell? The Inferno seems to be lagging like crazy. That's God. But yeah, I think left sync handle entering the pits now. Oh, he entered. Now he's exiting the pits. Big Dean Energy's gone past, obviously. Gee, I gotta check. Has Big so Big Dean Energy has pit as well. So I think this is now the real gap. This is now the real gap of between those two, like a 26-second gap. Still, it's pretty good actually. So. Potato and Philip have made 2 stops so far in the race. Philip being P7 and Potato being P8 in class. And there's about like a 20-second gap between them, so. Yeah, nope, sorry, I was wrong. 5-second gap. You see him in the distance there with the red TCR. As Philip is trying to catch up to Jake, who is trying to catch up to Jake here. Now they're in the Dottinger. Potato right in the distance there's Sebastian's over there, and that is a car I can't recognize. Gone off. That is Deadly Daniel. So Sebastian Deadly Daniel was actually ahead of Sebastian, and now he's behind. So if Deadly Daniel can catch up to Sebastian, he will have P3 in class slash overall. Same thing in this scenario. Parmesan done P5. Cup a solid couple of seconds back. So yeah, there's not much of a gap. There's not much of a chance for him to get the P3 overall. The hope was there, but it's gone now. Whoa, he's Philip going on two wheels there, taking maybe a bit too much curb on that second apex, lifting the car up. And yep, potato there, and Hex on Hex in the slipstream of. Oh, I keep forgetting that other car. It's not fully in the slipstream, but it's Hex in the slipstream of Florian. There we go. Yeah, having a little bit of a lock up on the front, on the left side there. Not fully in the slipstream, I should say. Yes, the Inferno, or I should say, the Lagmaster. Going through Fansgarten. He's 1.5 off T Sydney. He could have he has a chance to catch up to him. You never know. Could happen. I think for a second it looked like he lost the rear there, but that could just be the fact that he's lagging. And you have the transit van right ahead as well. Both of them to lap. With about 20 minutes left of the race, the Inferno lagging once again. It looked like he was drifting, and then oh, he is drifting. He had a bump of some sorts. Randomly just jumped in the air. But yeah, I was saying with 20 minutes remaining, um, we have Bobby and Botlando. Just want to remind you, Bobby was in pole position, Botlando in second, and for the first 40-ish minutes of the race, these two have been pretty much neck and neck with each other before Botlando made a mistake and ended up 20 seconds back, and then Bobby going a different strategy than Botlando. And that seems to have paid off by a lot because he is now 80 seconds ahead. Maybe Botlando made a really, really, really big mistake. You never know. The Inferno's trying to pass up. Yeah, a car. Can't quite tell which one that is. The T Sydney, and Hex trying to catch Florian again for P9 in class. 0.8 seconds. T Inferno. Does he have the slipstream? Yes, he does. Can he make the move done? No, he can't. Unless he makes a dive bomb, it's not really worth sending it anyways. It's too far back. Yeah, just look how much curb the TCR can eat. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, Phillips sending it through Schwittenkreuz and Arnage, catching up a little bit to Jake up ahead. The Inferno still within T Sydney's tail, T Sydney locks up a bit on the front right. Everyone's locking up left and right. Not much locking from the the radicals, but the TCRs have been like a bit more, not a bit more aggressive on their front tires, or the tires in general. I mean, they are a tough car to brake with, so can't really blame them. Oh, the Inferno having a small drift there. It was front wheel drive drift with the rear coming out. Looked like it was a rear wheel drive drift, but it wasn't. So that was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, the drift. So going through Hatzenbach, and yeah, the Inferno's right. He's right there. He's trying to find. He's trying to cause a mistake. The T City might have taken too much curb there. It's got a bit bouncy. T Inferno still is caught up even more now. Oh, he goes off wide. He takes too much curb. He hits the wall. Loses a bit of time. He's down 1.6, 2 seconds almost. Basically 2 seconds off him. About 1.8. Yeah, 1.7, 1.69, something like that. That's roughly the gap now to between them. We lost about a second or so. That was a bit of an unfortunate scenario for him. Not the best um way to pass, obviously. As Philip is still on Jake's tail, still trying to make a move down in the last 16 and a quarter minutes left of the race. This is going to be quite the interesting one. Quite the interesting 16 minutes. I mean, for the people that are actually close together, it is going to be a bit interesting to see how aggressive they get with the moves. But then again, between radicals and TCRs, I, you never know how aggressive they get for overall position, even though it's class position that matters more. Overall position it's still there, but yeah, as said, class position does matter a bit more than overall. By a bit, I mean a hell of a lot more than overall position. You have Hex as well, who's caught up a bit. Oh, that's not Hex, is it? No, I have no idea. Alright, Philip over there had a really poor line through the carousel. You have Potato in the background as well. He's just crossing right there. I think Philip felt a little bit of too much pressure, broke a little bit late through the carousel a bit, or took too much speed through it. So it's getting to him now. I think he's understand. I think he has understood how that he has to. That's the last like 15-ish minutes of the race now. He needs to go full push. The Inferno driving around through miss hit miss, looking like he's drifting everywhere. It's just the fact that he's lagging. The Inferno could make a possible move on damn, what was his name? Start with an F, I remember that. Uh I can't remember it. I can't find it either. TST the T City and that looks like T City and Ronan. Oh no, that's T City and that's T I forgot the guys. T City and not Philip. Oh my god. I'm horrible with names. Oh, Philip hits the wall, goes off into the grass and hits the wall there. Potato will take that opportunity to go down the inside. Goes ahead of Philip now. I think yeah, that should be Potato. I think. Yeah, it's the Inferno. Oh, yeah, I suck with names. So it's the Inferno and T Sydney fighting once more. Potato now. That should have been Potato. I think ahead of Philip. Or not. I am. Yeah, no, that was. So Potato is now ahead of Philip. And is still on the charge for Jake. So remember with Philip here down the Dottinger. There's not much going on really. Just a bit of a lonely drive, none straight. The Inferno still behind Sydney, still trying to get the move down. Can he get it done? Is the big question. Yeah, I don't know if it's a common occurrence with the radical. I mean, with the TCRs, but I swear through the final chicane, they're constantly like I don't know if it's. I think it's just Philip that I've seen who's tire has just been going off. Sydney goes wide, takes too much speed through the corner before brunching. That's the best way I'm gonna say it. It's too late in the night for this. Deadly Daniel in fourth, 9 seconds off Sebastian. Seems to have lost a bit more time after that spin. A couple more mistakes here and there. It tends to happen. It's a tough track. The Inferno, I think it's, yeah, the Inferno is still behind T Sydney. Still looking to get past. It's tough. It's tough to do so, but going through Flans Garden 2, then Stefan Beloff S. I think he's just trying to set. He shouldn't set it now. 'Cause he should make it so he sets up a move through Tiergarten or through the actual Döringer. By then, that should be the better way to handle the scenario. Maybe just not fully. Maybe not try and get a move done here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's close enough to get the move done right there. So as they're going through Galgen Cup, and then now they're going through the final corner onto the main final corner before the main straight. Now the Inferno is well within the slipstream of T Sydney. Vinci a little bit lonely after a couple of mistakes that he's made. He's down P17 overall. Yeah, the Inferno trying side by side trying to go around the outside. Does he get the move done before the kink? Yes-ish. It's still side by side. Goes a little bit on the grass. He backs out. Good guard. A good call to Tiergarten. I I mentioned this a couple of times earlier. You don't want to go side by side through there. You're gonna crash. If you have Peter who disconnects from the server, that might be our third DNF. We have two so far. Yusarian and Arman. DNF quite early on. Yusarian, I think, disconnected from possible VR issues. And Arman, I think, just DNF'd, and so did Peter. So the Inferno and T Sydney still fighting. T Sydney went deep to turn one. The Inferno tried to capitalize on that, but I think T Sydney just had a better run through there. Now still ahead as through the Mercedes arena. It's tough. We got a good helicopter cam here. Yeah, the Inferno much better run through that corner. It goes side by side through the hairpin. Actually, I think gets the move done before the hairpin. Or not. What the hell is happening right now? Uh-huh. Jeez, this guy's lagging like crazy. Right, now we're on board with Bobby. 92 seconds ahead of Butlando. He said it started in fourth, but he started in pole. He came from pole, so it's an absolute sensational drive from Bobby. Sensational as in dominant. And same with Parmesan, who's now over it's over like a minute and 40 seconds ahead of the Rexel here. Inferno now again within 0.2 seconds. He had to move down, and then I think he had to move down into the hairpin, but then lag hit. And I think he sank back, and the mistake happened. Philip is there, and then they're actually a potato right ahead of him. The Inferno now behind a little bit more now. He was like 0.2, 0.3 as he joined entered the Nordschleife. Now he's a bit he's fallen back a bit. Tends to happen. You want to create like a bit of a gap through here. I obviously want to get close enough after Flugplatz to get an overtake. You don't want to make an overtake at Flugplatz. That's just you're asking to take each other out. Potato going a little bit slower than Philip. Philip seems to be catching him a little bit. Yeah, they go through Flugplatz. The Inferno has a slipstream for sure. I think he might actually have a better exit than T Sydney. Or no, not too big, not too much. Not significantly better exit, like a little bit. And the slipstream's helping him as well, but it shouldn't be too severe. Yeah, like too severe as in like shouldn't be like You shouldn't have too much of an overspeed, so you won't overtake him then. Okay, there was about 3 different stutters right there from the Infernos, and looked like he was heading for the wall 3 times, and then yeah. So I want to see what his ping is. He's sitting at 180 ping. But 200. He's doing 200 plus ping. That's why. It's yeah. It's at 233 right now. It's just a lot. It's a lot of ping. Explains why. Philip now actually caught up quite a bit to Potato, and we just swapped back to the Inferno here. Inferno still behind T Sydney within half a second through miss hit miss. So now they're heading towards the Spiegel curve. Philip is right up Potato's tail through Eschbach. He tries to send it down the inside. No, he doesn't. Good call. That was good call for backing out there. That would have been way too ambitious. Oh, and that's the Inferno taking way too much speed. Excuse me, I coughed. I need to drink some water. I'll be right back. Sorry, apologies for that. Oh, there's a car spun out right there. That was now. I think it was a car spun out right there. Yeah. So sorry, I like, choked on air, but I needed a bit of water, so I just want to give that. Right. So um, we're back with the leopard pattern-esque livery, which still hurts my eyes. I may I add. Yeah, Philip and Potato still neck and neck. Yeah, Potato's trying to break the toe as much as possible, but I don't think he can. Philip is right. Yeah, Philip is gaining so much time in the toe, but not too much. I don't think he has the overspeed to make it past before Tear Garden. But they are very close, so they should go on for another lap or so. Maybe he can get them. Maybe if he sticks right behind him, he can get the move done by turn 1 or so. But knowing Potato, it's a pretty quick driver. Potato should be able to hold him off. Well, I think that's Potato anyway. If that isn't Potato, that'd be a bit yeah, embarrassing, could say. What the hell? Yeah, that is Potato, right? Just had to confirm. Oh, they make a little bit of contact on the thing. Oh, it seems like Philip carried way more speed through the corner compared to Potato. Potato tried to keep it hugged to the inside bit to get like a bit of a better run through turn 2 there. Meanwhile, while Philip was I think broke a little bit later than he was supposed to and went a bit deep. I think he's supposed to break a little bit earlier to yeah, like a little bit earlier to for obviously for an optimal line. I think he broke a little bit late, and that breaking a little bit late ended up with him hitting Potato. So Philip in the slipstream of Potato. I think that's Bilstein curve. Well, I guess we can't see the overtake again. Whatever. Who needs to see the overtake anyways? We got Hex and T Sydney. Oh, never mind. We're back. So Philip right up his tail through the entrance of the Nordschleife as as we're going through Hatchenbach, Hatchenbach, Hatzenbach. I think that's how you say it. Got the van sticking to the inside there. And he's letting the other guys pass. Good call. Philip's still trying to catch up. Both of them aggressively taking the curbs. Look how aggressive they are with them. Yeah, that, with the TCRs, it's if you don't take the curb, if you don't aggressively eat some of the curbs, especially through that first section before that straight before a quarter back, then you're losing out on lap time, possible lap time with these TCRs. And yeah, so in other corners as well, you want to cut it. But I think we've seen examples where you don't want to take too much of the curb, otherwise you're just gonna just go lose the control of the car. And Philip takes way too much speed to Schwindenkreuz. Can he get the car slowed down before hitting Potato? Yes. Potato was a little bit too far ahead for him to hit, so that's good. Potato is saved. Hex is right. Hex is trying to look for a move down around the outside. Sorry, Flugplatz. He backs out as T Sydney goes a little bit wide. That's Hex making the move. T Sydney hits the wall there. Not T Sydney. Sorry, that's Florian. I apologize. It's Florian hitting the wall there. Made losing a bit of control. I think wasn't didn't slow down enough through Flugplatz and ended up making a mistake under the pressure. As he goes to Schwedenkreuz, he slows down for this one, so that's good. We're on board with Botlando now, who's after a bit. He is more than a minute 40 seconds off a Bobby. Now we're actually into overtime. We're doing the last lap now. I just realized I hadn't kept track of the time. Now, we are now onto the last lap of the race. Uh, we're onto the last lap of the race. Now Bobby is where is Bobby? That is a very good question. Zero to hero, lead of the guest pack, the things, is just reaching the chicane. Bobby is heading towards. Bobby has actually just exited Ardenau Forced on his last lap, so we've reached overtime a minute ago, actually. So we're on board with Clemmy here. Is that a Lord of the Rings livery? I just realized that that looks like a Lord of the Rings type livery. I'm not gonna lie, it looked quite similar. There's a bunch of people standing around. Anyways, but yeah, so this is the last lap for whoever is behind Bobby, and whoever's ahead, it is their penultimate lap. Bobby obviously putting up an amazing performance. Um, Deadly Daniel actually now only 6 seconds off Sebastian Bolo. I can't say his last name. I apologize for butchering it that badly. But yeah, Deadly Daniel is 6 seconds off Sebastian, meaning that if without his mistakes, then he would have actually I think he would have been um alongside racing him at least, or at least near him within like 2 or 3 seconds. Oh, that's Vinicius going a little bit wide through that right kink before the braking zone, before heading towards the carousel. So the kink after mid curve. So this has been quite the entertaining race. obviously there's been a lot of good racing going around, so that's been really, really fun to talk about. And we've actually just realized we've had a Cesari DNF'd a minute. Cesari DNF'd. That Cesari DNF has happened on the last lap. This is. I feel sorry for the guy because it's extremely disappointing to see such a like to see such a like he had such a good drive. He was P3 before his DNF. He was P3 in class before behind the Rexa, I mean. And now he is DNF. So now it's Ronan who is now in the who's in the lead. Sorry, who's ahead. Who's in P3. That's that was a big one. The big stutter. Apologize for that. There's a couple of collisions here. We got uh towards the Beloff S. And we have Inferno. We're back on board with Inferno. I think T Sydney ahead as well. Oh, Philip and Potato battling it out. Teeth and Nail. I think that's the phrase. Teeth and Nail. Doesn't sound right, but it is, I think. Oh, actually, Cesari joins back. I think he disconnected. He had technical errors, technical difficulties. Now he's so he didn't DNF. He just disconnected. I think he is something is happening with on his end with internet of some sort or something like that. I'm on board with Florian, who is catching Hex ahead. Oh, Hex makes a mistake. Oh, that he bounces off the wall and hits Florian. Oh, really that's not good for Hex at all because he was ahead of him. Right, now we're on board with Potato. Philip really trying to break the toe here, going defending all the way down the inside, through the main straight. Bobby actually now entering the Dottinger straight, main straight. The Inferno right up behind T Sydney. Cesari is now down in P24. That's really, really, really unfortunate for him. He was P24 overall. I mean, or no, no, hold on. No, P31 overall. P24 in class. Yeah, so Potato. So this is the last lap for these folks. Oh, Potato. What happened? Oh, he's had a big moment. No, I think there must have been some form of contact between those two, between Potato and what do you call it? And yeah, okay, now we're on board with Bobby, who's crossing the final chicane down the main straight. He wins. Yeah, now he wins the 2 hours of the Nürburgring Nordschleife with a minute and 40-second gap to the car behind, or more than that actually. This has been an extremely, extremely dominant race, as now these guys are going to finish their race too, because the leader has finished their race. Potato has, I think, gone back to pits, so a lot of people are finishing their races now. So this has been a dominant race for Bobby here. A minute and 40 seconds ahead. And now we're on board with Hissing, who is finishing P12 in class. Well, he says P4, but he's finishing P12 in class, I think. Because a lot of people are now leaving the session now since the race has ended. We had a big crash as well before we went on board with Sergio, who's now also going across the line. So this has been an extremely, extremely entertaining race, boys. I have to say, it's been fun watching this race. Josh Fulton going a little bit wide in the final corner there, but he makes it across, P14 finish. Good work from him. Not too many mistakes from these guys. As we have people, yep. I think it's P14 finish. Now on board with Bot Lando here. It says Sam as P2, but he isn't. Bot Lando is P2. So Bot Lando is now coming up to your garden, ending his lap. A lot of people are ending the laps now, as I mentioned earlier. Once the leader finishes, every car behind the leader, that's their last lap, and once they cross the line, they finish as well. And that's Bot Lando for amazing P2. It was a bit disappointing on his end after all, because of the fact that he was in the lead for a good for a good chunk of time, keeping Bobby behind for the first 30-ish minutes, as the Inferno actually keeps ahead of the two guys behind, who makes it ahead. I mean, so now he finishes P15 in class, that is, and yeah, that's ahead of AR1 and T Sydney, as just scrub P25 crossing the line to finish his race now too. Must say it's been a really, really, really entertaining race, I've mentioned before. So you actually have a very, 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 very long wait. First of all, Luke Bateman crosses the line at P12 in class, but and then we have Sebastian now who's gonna finish P3. It says P4. He's gonna finish P3 now. So this has been a really, really good race for Sebastian. He kept he kept he kept the P3 position, even if even after a lot of the mistakes he's had, he's still P3. And Deadly Daniel is gonna finish P4 a couple of seconds later. It's been an unfortunate ending for Deadly Daniel, especially because he was quite close to. He's spun. He's spun right on the final corner. Well, it's better to do it right at the end than in the beginning, you know. Like I said, it was a bit of an unfortunate finish for Deadly Daniel. He had hopes for a P3 position, however, I think he's ended up. However, through all the mistakes he's had, he's now P4. Max Yang, it's not P5, but he's P14 or P10 in class. Can't quite call. Now Hunter. That's now the main battles. Now the main weight is with Hunter and then Zero to Hero. Hunter is in the Dottinger, and then Zero to Hero is further back. This we have a line of three TCRs here. This is all battle for position now. Uh, One of them tries to get as much of a Garfield tries to get as much of a slipstream from Hunter as possible before. Yeah, so now he goes defensive, then no, he's not. Sorry, that's not Garfield. I apologize. It's Garfield in the middle over there. Oh, it's the contact. Oh, yeah. No, Garfield goes ahead. I don't. That was slight contact. Maybe he pushed him a little bit wide. As Parmesan, it's not P21. He is P1. Ignore the fact it says P21. He is P1. He is gonna finish P1. He's he was about to lap the. He's about to lap a Garfield. He laps Garfield. So this. So another thing to say. Parmesan has had a really, really dominant race in the TCR class, like how Bobby has had a dominant race with the Radicals. Hunter just crossing through the final chicane. It's been a very entertaining wait for him. Well, got a couple of cars finishing. Big Dean Energy down in P9 in class. Not P9 overall. Or maybe not P9. I think it's. I mean, well, yeah, no. I don't quite know where he finished, but Big Dean Energy, another. At least the main thing is he beat Left Sync Handle as those two were actually battling. If you guys remember, later on and actually halfway through the race. As we're on board with Clemmy here. I'm pretty sure I promise that is the I promise that is a Lord of the Rings reference livery. I promise. As he goes to Tiergarten, and entering the final chicane. It's been a good race from Clemmy. Try to keep it out of the walls as much as possible. Albeit sometimes it doesn't always go to plan, but it's still a good finish from him. Yeah, it's good work from Clemmy there. Now we're on board with Left Sync Handle. Actually, so Left Sync Handle really did have a big gap. He seems to have made a really, really, really big mistake compared to. Oh, he seems to have made an extra pit stop. That's why. So Left Sync Handle's made an extra pit stop. Hence the big gap between him and Deadly Daniel. So yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. But that makes a little bit of sense, yeah. But we still have a little bit of a. Actually, now we're on board with the Raxel, who is gonna round up to finish P2 in class here. This has been a great race for him. He started off P2 and he's finished P2. I mean, he couldn't really do anything against Parmesan, but it's still Still a great effort from him and keeping it ahead of Ronan and actually Cesari as well for a bit before his unfortunate disconnect. He did reconnect, but yeah, he actually kept it ahead of Cesari as well for a bit. So, and now speaking of Ronan, as he's coming up to cross the line, it's been a great race from him as well. Still within like 15-ish seconds of 15, 20 seconds of the Rexa. So that's been great stuff from him. He's keeping it quite consistent throughout. And we have Jesse here, who's actually had a really, really close battle with Jake, if you remember early on, like 20-ish minutes, or like 20, 30, 40 minutes before Jake had a moment, and actually had a close battle with other drivers as well. I can't remember. And Jake here, a lot of mistakes made by Jake, I have to say. Jake is actually pretty. I've noticed Jake and Jesse, they've been very close with in terms of pace. Philip going a little bit on the grass there. We got very close in terms of pace, but Jake just seems to have made a little bit more mistakes than Jesse, as Philip crosses the line as well. So Philip obviously doing pretty well. Good stuff from him. Here comes Zero to Hero, who's the last person to cross the line. We've all been waiting for him now. It's been about 14, nearly 15 minutes since overtime has happened. And Zero to Hero hits the wall there. He's weaving, showing his absolute dominance in the guest class. Look at that. Look at that rear wagon round. And that's a spin across the line. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the end of the race. So thank you all for before we end off, I just want to tell you guys. So basically, I just want to say that in the radical class, the top three were just want to keep you guys up to date. Top three were Bobby, Botlando, and then crap, what was the guy's name? Sebastian. And then top three in the TCR class was Parmesan, Duraxo, and Ronan. So that's your provisional top three results for both the classes, and then obviously Zero to Hero sending it into the wall, being ahead of Hunter in the guest class. So yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in for this endurance race, and we hope to catch you guys for the next one. So have a nice time.